with my in-laws because my wife and I we are both essential services. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I mean, how are you guys holding up over there? I'm like salute you guys for like putting it up that way.
Malaysia's quite interesting also. I think they just extended the MCO.
They did. They call it the conditional MCO, which is
Ah,
supposed to be basically they're letting some businesses which are considered as non-essential. They actually allow them to operate, but it's basically still MCO and lockdown actually. But I think a lot of people are thinking, yay, freedom! So they started going on, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I went out like a few days after they they implemented they call it the CMC or conditional movement control order. I went to just buy groceries and it looked like a normal day, normal shopping day kind of thing. So I was like, really? It's a bit weird.
All right. I think I'm
Like,
going to just change the screen over to YouTube first, and I see who is joining us over there. Let me just share this on Facebook.
nice.
Yeah, so whoever wants to join can just join us there instead. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. I don't know whether you all see that, but I just received a message saying Zoom has removed the 40-minute time limit on group meetings. So
Yep. Just
Yeah, I
did.
saw that as well.
yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, hi, Julian. I was the guy who texted you on lessons.
Oh, right. Oh, hey.
Yeah, hi.
Nice to see you face to face.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, man.
So
I got your number from Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel. You're
no
the man.
problem, man. Yeah, connecting.
Daniel's really the man.
Need a
I'm
Singaporean to
looking
connect two people from KL.
Malaysia.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see.
You're the man. I'm looking forward to this weekend, man.
Yeah, this weekend is gonna be quite crazy. Hi, Ing Kwang, can you hear us?
Hey, hi. Yes, I can. Yes.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, Ing Kwang is
Thing.
from
Hey, man.
Singapore, so we have quite a good mix of representation here.
Yeah.
All right, let me see how am I gonna keep track of the comments on YouTube. Okay, let's see.
Sorry, I can't stay too long because I actually have another conference call at 9 o'clock. So
No
I'll stay as long as
problem,
I can
man.
and
No
chat with you
problem.
guys.
Okay.
Like it's nice to talk to other people every once in a while.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it. Okay, let me
Even though it's
just
through a
pull
flat
the screen over to this.
Is everyone here from Singapore?
No, actually.
KL.
So maybe we
Oh.
will.
Oh, who's from KL?
So
Okay,
Kiwai.
Okay.
Kiwai is from KL
I'm
as
from
well
KL.
as Julian.
Oh, KL.
Yeah,
Okay.
also Julian. So yeah, I think we have a good mix of diverse group of people, right? Some playing music. I mean, at the moment for fun, but you never know what happens. But still learning, still developing, and then I guess we have a few people doing it professionally. And yeah, I think that's a nice. I think that's exactly a demographic. Can't be, all skewed to one side. Then it's a bit funny. So, but cool, man. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we start introducing ourselves and then I don't know in Zoom in the order who comes first, but in my order here it's Kiwai is first. So maybe Kiwai, you can go ahead and share more about yourself and yeah.
Hi, guys. My name is Kiwai. I'm a lawyer by trade in the morning. At night, I'm a wannabe saxophonist. Yeah, I actually picked up the saxophone I would say about 7, 8 years ago, but I've actually stopped playing for a good 6, 7 years. So I only recently picked up the instrument again earlier this year. This MCO has been very good in the sense that I've been practicing daily, non-stop for the past 2 months. So I am hoping to see slowly seeing improvement and hoping to continue improving. I'm actually taking online lessons with Daniel at the moment. And Julian, is someone I intend to take lessons to locally in KL as well. So looking forward. Yep.
Yeah, cool. I think KY is probably the most hardworking out of all of us. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't jump to conclusions, but I definitely me lah. I don't come close to that many days in a row. I think I had a good spell like 1 2 weeks ago. I was doing like easily 3 4 hours a day for like probably one good week. That's like the most I got. Then things started to get a bit crazy, but yeah, man, KY amazing, super disciplined, and that's yeah, that's awesome, man. Cool and nice mic there. And what mic is that anyway, KY?
Oh, this is an MXL mic. When I
MXL.
got it, it came together with an instrument mic. It was quite a good deal. It was only like I think 500-600 ringgit for both mics.
Huh.
But I'm intending to upgrade soon. Yeah.
This is not a USB mic, right? You're plugging
No,
into
it's
an
not. It's an
interface.
XLR.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A large diaphragm condenser as well.
Nice. So you use it for your saxophone mainly, lah.
Yes.
Okay.
I play guitar as well. So sometimes I like to record myself doing covers,
Mm.
just singing, songwriting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I enjoy music a lot. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Oh, you're one of those types, huh? Like can play all the different instruments. No,
Yeah.
just mainly guitar and saxophone. I used to be in a band, so I love music. So it got me interested in just trying out different things, but mainly guitars and saxophone. Yeah.
Cool, man.
That's a lot
Sorry,
already.
drop my phone. Yeah, I think this mic will be like I think you realize like for if you're speaking or singing, this might actually end up being a bit too warm. Yeah. So I think like this one I'm using is the Audio Technica BP40. So it's actually used in the whole MediaCorp right now in Singapore. So radio side especially. I mean, I don't know what their deal is lah, but yeah, it's like type of like DJ mic, so a bit brighter and I guess clarity, but then I don't think it will sound great on saxophone, so sometimes, even you have the warmest mic in the world, like I tried some like $15,000 mic, but sometimes too warm for the saxophone is a bit funny, but maybe for violin or strings or this guitar, acoustic guitar, if you want to mic the body, maybe it's quite good. Yeah, because this one sounds quite warm. And yeah, probably definitely good for saxophone and guitar, large diaphragm, and yeah, man, good price. So cool. I guess besides me, you're the only one who has a physical mic, right? Yeah, cool. How about Vincent? You can introduce yourself.
Okay, hi guys, Vincent here. So I'm just playing music for fun and also playing for my church band for a while and playing mainly on auto. Although there's once I tried tenor. Not sure if I drowned the rest of the instrument because I was using quite a brighter mouthpiece. Yeah, but it was fun. It's fun playing music and of course taking lessons with Daniel a while back and yeah, trying to improve myself and trying to do covers if I can.
Yeah, I think Vincent is getting an audio interface, and then you got your mic already, right? You have a mic. Actually, your this pair of headphones should work also already. But yeah, I am glad like this period is helping people to want to put out stuff, right? And no excuse now. You can't say, you have so many errands to run or whatever. I'm sure there's still commitments and all, but for, I hear a lot, especially with the shop sales, it's been really quite crazy and everyone is saying the same thing. I've always wanted to do it. Now, finally, I have no more excuse. I have like wives buying saxophone for their husbands, like professional model Yamaha Sopranos and stuff. Quite crazy, but seems like the same theme is I'm sure around the world as well. it's not gonna be isolated. I'm sure music instrument sales are just ridiculous. Audio interface, mics, everyone wants to, do something from home now. Yeah, I'm sure those companies are really, really doing well. But great, nice to see so many people wanting to put the output out. I think there's always this debate on, like, should I wait until I'm like perfect then release stuff? Or, if like that, then all of us will never ever put out something, right? And yeah, there's another guy,
Guilty as charged.
and I struggle with it as so much also. It's like, okay, like I think I can do better, but then you do another 100,000 ticks or so, it's like it may even get worse, and stuff like that. So no lah, it's definitely amazing that people are putting themselves out there. And I think the saxophone community is quite uh yeah. I think the saxophone community should be quite forgiving, so I read recently, I don't know whether you all saw on some of these groups, like there are people like bashing other people, putting up videos and stuff like that. And I think that the culprit got quite a lot of hate from everyone else, But I mean, I think
Yeah,
everyone
it's a
just needs
Russian
to.
dude.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
good.
yeah,
He was a
yeah.
good player, but
Oh, is it?
he,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I think
and
the
he worked a lot
post
with
got.
the
Yeah, so what was it? Because I only caught the aftermath of it. So, like, he apparently said some nasty things.
yeah. So basically, there was this girl. She's a baritone player. I think she's still in high school,
Mm.
and for some strange reason, this Russian dude, saxophone player, very good, and he does a lot of he had done a few videos with Jay Metcalf, the better sax
Okay,
guy.
okay,
He actually done a few videos with him, and it's really good. He released a lot of videos himself.
okay.
I think it's something to do with his friend or best friend or brother, whatever. I was trying
Mm.
to go after this young girl or something like that, and this young girl said,
Oh.
don't lie, then suddenly he started messaging her and like saying, "Man, do you know how bad you sound? Like how you suck and all that kind of thing." So then she posted that post online on saxophonist groups. Like, is it common for
Yeah.
so-called professionals to
Yeah.
directly message someone and tell them how bad they sound?
Mm.
So everyone's like, so when they find out who it was, I think they kind of like went online to his Instagram account and like gave him the craps. It was
Yeah.
bad. And
Mm.
the worst thing is that she actually the girl who plays baritone, she sounds very decent actually. Sounds she's I mean she's not like professional level or anything, but she actually sounds very decent. Sounds
Mm.
good. So I don't understand why would do that. It's not healthy.
But I think so. Is it like most likely it's because of the? I mean, it's more a spite revenge type of thing. It sounds like it probably isn't about her playing, right? Just happens that she's a saxophonist, so he's probably upset, and he would have, said those same things no matter what instrument she was playing lah. In that sense, so not sure whether.
according to her, it was like according to her it was like something to do with her friend trying to like go after her or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean
then
it's quite stupid
is
actually.
is is is
A
like,
lot of extra motives lah that
yeah,
added into the whole picture.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, it doesn't make it any better, but hopefully he wasn't just a random saxophonist going around trolling people's videos and like, oh, this person doesn't sound good to me, and I'll just go and bash. So I mean, still doesn't make it right, but it would have been a lot worse if there was no like other motive for doing that, and the guy just goes online. But I'm just curious. I mean, I don't know. I think this type of names need to be shared. Like I feel like, not that I'll memorize it and write it on my wall and like, okay, stay away from this guy. But if sometimes conversations happen, like even with the shop, someone might say like, oh, have you heard of this guy? And what do you think of him? Then I don't know. For me, I would, I don't know whether it's the same for you guys, just to be able to be on guard, like, if down the road I have to, you know, like, but yeah, I mean, is he a famous guy? Do you remember what his name is? Like, I would love to know, but if you want to tell me privately, that's fine also. I don't know whether anyone else wants to know that.
Yeah, I'm sure she can find out in the saxophonist group.
Yeah, I'll go and check it out just to keep it at the back of my mind to, I guess, in case people cross paths. So cool. Yeah, I think we sidetracked quite a bit, but it's okay. It's our hang. So Russell is next.
Hi, I'm Russell. I'm originally from Indonesia, but I'm currently here in Singapore studying in NUS. My main instrument is the tenor saxophone, and other than playing the saxophone, I also do some mouthpiece refacing. And because of this lockdown, I'm trying to learn saxophone repair. I'm trying to use this chance to learn saxophone repair.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I totally forgot about the refacing part for Russell. I mean, how long have you been refacing, Russell?
So the first time I get exposed to refacing was when I met Theo Wani in Indonesia, 2016. So I started doing it for until like 2018, so 2 years. But last year I got very busy with my schoolwork, so I had to take a break. So
Mm.
it's like 2 year and a 1 year break.
Okay. Did you do the
Yeah.
Tiowani course? I think you did, right? When he came.
I did two courses with Theo Wani.
Oh, so it's like beginner and advanced or intermediate style.
And yes, beginner and intermediate.
Nice. So how do you find it? I know. I mean I don't think anyone else in this group has joined that.
The course was very nice. Like Theo is a very good teacher and he has lots of knowledge. But on the mouthpiece refacing, I think it's a very fun thing to do because you can find out like how to change the sound from a mouthpiece, and you
Mm.
can explore many different things like in your own hands.
Mm.
But at the same time, if you do a lot of mouthpiece refacing, it's also dangerous for the health because there's a lot of dust and we're breathing that in.
Is there any way to protect against that? Like, I don't know, mask and stuff. Do people do that?
I just use a mask and
Mm.
I always keep like a small vacuum cleaner by the side.
Nice. And I think it's almost like it's really by experience, right? Like someone who has done 1,000 mouthpieces will definitely be better than someone who is only refaced like 100, right? Like there's so many ridiculous brands and models and stuff. So do you feel like that it will take a lot of time, or is it possible that someone can learn it like super well in like 6 months or so?
No, I don't think you can learn it like learn or be very well in 6 months.
Mm.
But um, like if you just get started on it, there's some like theories to learn.
Mm.
But then after you finish the theories, it's all about practice. So the more mouthpiece you reface, the better you get.
So when do you think you'll be ready to do it as a side business and charge?
Uh, I'm still not sure yet, but I'm starting on something. Uh,
Okay.
Probably in the next 2 week, I can let you know what I have, what plans I have. Yeah.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
waiting anxiously for your mouthpiece line.
Yeah, I think you
Oh,
were trying to
Yeah,
do
me too.
some 3D printed stuff, right? Okay.
yes, I did some 3D printed stuff too last time
Okay,
to
okay.
explore on like mouthpiece design.
Okay, we won't squeeze you here first for all the details. You can
Yeah.
share with
Can I
us.
can I
Yeah.
ask Russell a question?
Mm.
Like you mentioned that you are learning instrument repair. How are you
Yeah.
learning it? Are you taking lessons online, or are you just like trying to like get in resources online and just trial and error?
So firstly, I started to look for resources online because it's free. Then now I'm purchasing lots of books on instrument repair and I'm trying to study them. I'm also doing some practice on like because I bought this. I recently get this like Concourse Soprano, and it was in a pretty bad condition, and I'm trying to repair it myself. And the next step, I think I want to take lessons like repair lessons too. I'm thinking of getting them from Music Medic.
Okay, and that's what
I actually
private.
inquired,
Mm.
because during this MCO, I think I mentioned to Daniel
Yes.
before as well that I got interested in instrument repair, and I so happened that I've had a spare alto saxophone, my first alto. So actually, I got in touch with Music Medic, and I've ordered the supplies from them, just waiting for them to come before I arrange Skype lessons. And they are
Oh,
very helpful. I think you should contact them. This guy Ryan from Music Medic, he's their chief instructor for instrument repairs.
yes.
I can share the contact with you privately after this.
Okay, sure. Thanks a lot.
Nice. That's awesome. So I guess both of you were thinking of doing the private lessons. Maybe y'all can even work it out, like if there's a way to, you know, do it as a duo and maybe potentially save some fees or what. But I'm glad. I mean, this is the first time you guys are meeting, and nice connection there, and with a mutual love of it. Like, I only bought that saxophone, the Stephen Howard book, the saxophone manual repair thing, and I really like, wow, yeah, too many details, man. Yeah, I also wanted to go into saxophone repair, but man, I mean, as with anything, you really need to put in the hours and the years to get really good at it. So yeah, I really respect those who. Yeah, I mean, there's so many in the U.S. and all over the world that they just do repair, like their whole lives, and serve the community that way. That's really quite awesome. But yeah, and actually speaking
Yeah.
about Russell's refacing, I've played a Claude Lakey alto mouthpiece that he did, and it is really good. Like recently I just asked Russell, hey, do you still have that mouthpiece? I still suddenly remembered about it, and he was like, oh, it's in Indonesia, right, Russell?
Yeah, but I'll get it back really as soon as possible.
Anytime. Yeah, it is really good. So I mean, I think one of the only mouthpieces I've played that you reface. Do you have to reface fully, or it was a you know just a touch up, or was it a full
If the
reface?
mouthpiece was in a good condition, I can just do a touch up. But
Uh,
last
as
time for the
in,
cloth leggy, I get it in
yeah,
a very bad condition. I had to do a lot of things with it.
nice. I mean, now so it was a like full reface, like a lot of work on it, right?
Full reface, and I did also some repair on the body of the
Okay,
mouthpiece.
man. I mean, it really, really plays well. Like, I don't know how come I didn't end up buying it. Like, I think you let me try for a while. In the end, I just passed on it, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but it was a really, really good mouthpiece. And Lakeys don't really play very well out of the box. So, yeah, man, for sure, happy to vouch for Russell in that sense. So good. Thanks for reminding us. We'll definitely
Yes.
talk more about gear later. Yeah, before we
Yeah.
go
Thanks,
too
Daniel.
crazy. No problem. Yeah, Julian is next.
Hi, I'm Julian Chan. I play saxophone for fun, but I so happen to do it for a living as well. I've been playing saxophone since I was about 13 or 14. That's in 91 or 92, I think. But I've been in the professional circle for about, I think this would be my 20th year.
Oh.
Um, yeah, and I play all saxophones, alto, tenor, soprano. No baritone because I can't afford to get one yet, but I would, hopefully one day. But my preference would be alto and soprano as well. Uh, yeah, and I'm proud to say that I'm also a young Isawa artist. Yes.
Mm,
I love those
yes.
horns. I mean, I just love them.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of things that when you play uh, when you play your horn, and it really kind of enables me to get the kind of sound that I hear in my head. So I'm just enjoying that as well. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Thank you. We'll definitely talk about Yanagisawa later on. Hey, Ing Kwang, short introduction.
Hi, my name is Eng Kwang. I is one of the regular customers at Saxo. And
Yeah.
I just met Daniel also outside while he was gigging somewhere. They say hi, I say hi. More about hobbies. So far in these recent years I played saxophone for Christmas and Thanksgiving, that kind of thing. I picked it up last time in secondary school. In high school I played a bit. in college. So I play a bit, and then now I'm picking up the sort of my own interest.
Mm.
Yeah. So at the moment, I'm trying to get a good fix on matching like mouthpiece to horn and see what works best for getting a voicing and that kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So expensive hobby, lah, but
For
you know,
sure, man.
yeah,
For
for those.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, thanks Daniel for
No, no
getting us connected.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool to
Mm,
have this
yeah.
hang. Okay, Michelina
Mm.
is next.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelina. I actually studied classical saxophone, so I feel a bit out of space here. I came back from my studies August of last year, so I'm quite new in this scene. Yeah, I play all the saxophones, SATB, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Since Samuel disappeared, so you are
I think
the
he has
sole.
class.
No problem. I'm
Mm.
sure we'll do more of these. And actually, I toyed with the idea of trying to get some other players like co-sex man or someone. So I think subsequently we definitely can do more. And also I think yeah it could be a impromptu sharing or so, from some of the other players around. Like I think like you guys may not be super familiar with Tran Man Tuan from Vietnam. Not sure if you know of him, but he's like the core of Vietnam. Yeah, has his own thing going. And I think the crazy thing about Tran is probably has one of the biggest vintage saxophone collection in Asia probably. Yeah, he's a huge collector. He'll never sell anything. I think he's more ligatures than anyone I've seen, mouthpieces and yeah. So he will be a good guy to get on because playing is superb. That's a given, but his knowledge on vintage horns and all is quite killer. So yeah, eventually, yeah, I'm sure we have multiple episodes of this, but yeah, I think definitely no saxophone hang is complete without having a gear talk. So yeah, maybe we go reverse now. Michelina, you can start. Let us know what you play. Why you enjoy them, and yeah, let's just see. What else works for other people, and maybe they might want to try that out as well. So yeah, you can start off.
I play on a Series 3 alto. I have a solid silver neck, and I'm using the Ligatures. No, yeah, no, what do I want to say? The Lefrak.
Mm.
Yeah, I have a solid silver gold-plated Lefrak, and
Solid
my
silver.
alto neck actually has an additional octave key. So I have double thumb buttons to press on with the left hand. It's quite interesting, something like you don't see very often. My mouthpiece is a soloist. Yep, I'm in
Nice.
between ligatures at the moment, so if anyone has some suggestions.
What are you currently using?
I recently broke my Vandoren MO, but now I'm playing
Mm.
on a JLV, and I also have a Ishimori. So
Mm.
I'm between the two. I'm not sure what I want. Yeah.
I think maybe Julian will be a better judge on the MO ligatures. I don't know whether I just heard it from you or from multiple people already that they can be quite flimsy, right? Julian, do you have any comments on that? I know you use one.
I have broken two alto ammo ligatures and one soprano ligature actually. I mean, for what I use, they are nice. I love them actually. They are nice to play on and everything. But it really depends on maybe body chemistry or something. I don't know. Maybe like some people's saliva is more corroding on the metal than others. I don't know. Yeah, I actually broke the first one I broke. I actually sent it back to France, to Paris, lure a pig, and they actually sent one back. So yeah, they can be pretty fiddly. So I do agree that if I were to get another ligature, I would want something that's similar to that, but much more stronger, which I kind of think I did, which is the Yanagisawa Sixes mouthpiece ligature. I actually got that. The factory sent me one because I was asking, hey, do you mind if I try it? So they actually sent one over. So I'm like, I'm trying it out, and I have to say, even though the contact points are a bit different because the MO ligatures are the two rib ones, like the old masters ligature. This one is actually like a four points on the reed, so four rounds. Yeah, but I have to say the color and is a little bit slightly brighter and has a little bit more resistance than the ammo, but the colors are very close. So and it's very sturdy. So I think if my current ammo breaks, I'm just gonna like stick to the sixes. Yeah, I
Interesting.
mean,
Big price
yeah.
difference though, that one.
Oh yes. Well, I mean, if you're gonna choose one that has a bigger price difference but will last you longer, why not?
Yeah, I think another person to speak about the sixes is Kiwai, right? Kiwai, you have one Yanagisawa
Oh yeah,
ligature.
I concur with everything Julian has mentioned. Before I got the sixes, I was actually looking for the Vandoren ammo, and when I tried it side by side, purely from the build quality standpoint, is a different league entirely. If one of your considerations is just ammo being very fiddly and breaks apart very easily, then I think sixes is the way to go. It's a bit brighter compared to the ammo for sure, but uh, I never expected to go way over budget to get the sixes. But once I played it, I told myself I have to get it. So that's how I ended up with the sixes. Yeah.
I think if I were to chip in on that, yeah, I tried it at the shop. I was already playing my Ishimori on auto, and then I just tried it for fun because I realized that it's been there for so long and I never really tried. And if I don't try it and share it with people, it's a high chance it doesn't move as well because no one would if we're not pushing it or sharing it with people. So I tried it and I realized like it's super free blowing, like, and I don't know, my gut feeling is that's where the brightness comes from, not that it's inherently bright, but so free blowing. It was like, turbocharging the reed in the sense, like allowing it to vibrate so much, so
Yeah.
if someone had a really resistant setup, like, I feel like it will make your reed feel like even a half size, softer in that sense. So that's my only experience. It was just like quite shocking that, usually ligatures, I mean, of course there's difference, but not that crazy. That was one of the craziest one, but it was just so crazy that, I didn't know whether it was putting it in a good direction for me, because then the reeds that I like to use are feeling a bit soft already. So yeah, but I think there's definitely a place and space for that ligature for someone who likes it. But yeah, cool. And I think it's just not very popular. Like, I don't know whether Yanagisawa has really pushed it much. Yeah, I'm not sure in Malaysia or whether many people are playing it. So, but yeah, it's a nice ligature for sure. Yeah, but yeah, Michelina, you were saying is it the neck has two octave keys or the saxophone itself has two octave keys?
The neck has two octave bands. I actually have it right here if you
Wow, you
wanted to
should,
have a look.
yeah, and maybe later in the chat you should take some pictures and share. I've totally never
Sure.
heard of it before.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
solid
the other
silver.
option I'd go
Sorry, yeah.
for will be like a. Oh yes, that's the one. Okay.
yeah.
Can't
So the neck
really
Yeah.
has no
see
octave
from
key here.
here. Oh wait, sorry. I should be putting it on screen. I'm a very bad moderator. I'm still getting a hang of it. Okay. Wow.
This.
Wow, I've never
What is it for
seen it.
actually?
Yeah.
It helps me with my A. So sometimes when you play the high A with the octave, there's this hissing sound. I'm
Ah
not sure if you
yes.
get that. So with this, I get the very pure kind of sound. Yeah, and with the altissimo as well, it's a lot easier,
Oh
especially when it's
wow.
soft. Yeah,
Ah okay.
yeah, and actually the intonation helps as well. I think it's supposed to be like you have this octave key and the one on the instrument itself, and like it works until you get to like the A B flat B. Then the octave bend should be around here. So I think they made next like this for a while, and then decided it was too much work to add the additional key, so they just
So
went back
Yeah,
this.
to the two octaves.
I've
Wow.
seen something like that before, but you don't really see it around that much. I mean, I think were they experimenting a little bit with it?
I have no idea, but I
Yeah.
know that Summer doesn't make it anymore. It's out of production.
I always thought like the hissing sound from the octave key, like sometimes when I do get that, and what I do is that I take one of those those teeth floss, the one with the little brush at the end, because
Okay.
sometimes it's just like gunk stuck inside the octave vent, so I just kind of like you know do that and it's fine. I don't know if you guys have the same problem.
I find it happens a lot more on tenor. Is that for you as well?
Ah, I'm not sure because I don't play tenor as much,
Okay.
but yeah, so far not really.
Oh, Michelina, we
Yeah.
have a question from Feng from on YouTube. He was saying, is there an extra octave? Eh? Oh, sorry. I thought I read it as extra cost. So I was going to ask you, but Feng, is there extra octave key? Yes. Okay. So Feng, the answer is yes, it's an extra octave key. But yeah, speaking of cost, I mean, but I would think they don't make it now, so that's more a vintage piece. Like you would have to hunt for
Mm.
it in
Or
the second hand.
limited edition or something.
I got it
Nice.
secondhand, yeah.
Nice, that's
Oh,
good. From like locally or US or Europe or
From actually a friend. He used to work in the Selma store. We were
wow,
classmates, so I bought it from him because he doesn't use
wow.
it anymore. Now he plays Yamaha.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I
So
see.
when you press the octave key, when you hit those high notes, it will auto activate or how does
Uh,
that?
so I have a double octave on my saxophone itself.
Wow, and that has to be installed separately.
Yeah. So it's a whole bar, but it's
Oh
actually
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Oh
Would that
wow.
be a
So I
problem
have
with putting it in a case after that?
no, it's fine.
So
So it's this
Okay.
when
extra bar here.
when do you activate the
Wow.
extra octave key?
When I play
Only
my
when you
A's
only A and
and
above.
A, B flat, B sometimes, and in the altissimo when it's soft. Yeah.
Nice. So palm keys you wouldn't.
No, no way. It will
Okay.
start hissing.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's really really interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would love to try your horn one day and see
Please.
how that plays. Yeah. But actually later we can discuss about it also. I don't know, like for me as someone who doesn't play classical, like I know I'm supposed to care about my tuning more, but like I don't really like that's not my ultimate focus. I rather think more about like, okay, how am I emoting the song or bringing out the best tone possible. And of course, tuning comes with that, but is it like in the classical world, is it like, a sin to be like, out of tune in your extreme ranges? I mean, of course, I'm sure everyone is in tune in general. I mean, the saxophone is super out of tune on its own, so it's up to us to, you know, keep it there. So I guess, is it in the classical world is more a sin? Like, I would say, I mean, of course, if you're severely out of tune in any type of music, for sure, But I don't know, and maybe the rest who, even Julian, like in jazz, I mean, for sure, we need to have tuning, but it's not as, you know, as bad as
Uh,
in classical, right?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I mean,
Mm,
like I think everybody. I think classical is definitely a lot more tighter, in that sense,
mm,
and I can understand why because with classical music, there's there's a lot of there's a lot of little things when they write pieces and all that kind of thing, and
mm,
when they jump on different intervals or whatever. Sometimes you need that because when you're playing with certain other instruments as well as saxophones, if it's out of tune, it really feels jarring. It's it's kind of like guitarists that you have six strings, but they don't tune one of the strings, and you play a chord and it just sounds wrong, even though the
for
fingering is
sure.
correct.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. At least that's my other ground about guitars, but I'm not gonna get into that today. But for jazz, there's a little bit more freedom in that. But for me, my personal aesthetic is that I still prefer to care about I do care about my intonation a lot. It's also because like my models, my role models, they do. People like the person that got me into playing saxophone, Dave Course,
Mm.
he's got fantastic intonation. I can't say the same for his clones or people who try to play like him,
Mm.
but Dave has got excellent intonation. Eric Marienthal has excellent intonation. My own teacher, he's got excellent intonation. But they are very flexible as well. So
Mm.
sometimes when they need to do like note bends and all that, it's always with a certain degree of
Mm.
how you call it, variance, but it's done in a very tasteful way. I
Mm.
think if we sort of play have a lot more care on the intonation, that means you are more flexible to play with the intonation as well, or like
Mm.
little things like
Yeah.
note bends and some sharp, some flat. You know what I mean? So at least you have the ability to do that. I think.
Mm, yeah, I think just a thought crossed my mind, like how many people in the pop and jazz world would spend more to get a extra octave key. I just just my personal thought that because we are maybe forgiven more in that sense, that yeah, like I don't sorry, I know for sure I wouldn't like if I had to pay, let's say, above $1,000 to make a few of my notes more in tune or speak better. I'm like I would rather put the money somewhere. But yeah, Michelina, like in the world of I mean, where you studied and the people you cross paths with, they are willing to spend for this type of things, for tuning.
Definitely, yeah, I think so.
Wow,
Yeah, but
interesting.
I have a question for jazz saxophonists. Like with the high F sharp key, like I've heard many stories like jazz saxophonists don't want this high F sharp key. It helps. I don't know, more resonance, or I don't know,
Yeah.
Well,
simpler is better.
from what I read, I mean, all my saxophones all have F sharp keys, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. But I think that the fact that it doesn't have a tone hole where the F sharp is makes the horn kind of
Mm.
vibrate more steadily. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah.
So it could be that's the case.
I
Like
think
I said, it
mm.
doesn't really make a difference to me because I use model horns all the way anyway. So
Mm. Mm.
we learn to just like get the best out of the horn in whatever
Mm.
way possible.
Yeah, I think Kiwai and I had this conversation about high F sharp keys, right? And I think maybe yeah, I can share with this because I play a tenor with no high F sharp key. I asked for it that way, and even my soprano, because anyway, I've always had problems with my thumb, my right thumb from playing saxophone, so almost got dislocated. So I get a lot of pain whenever I play soprano. So I've always been proponent of like light sopranos. So when I was playing Yamaha, I had 875 EX soprano silver. I love the tone, but it was already heavy in itself. So I'll never get a high G soprano. Just for me, it's like I hardly even play palm keys. Like I try to consciously stay away unless I really need to, because just the frequency doesn't please me. But so I went to the Yamaha Artist Center in LA, and they actually took out the high F sharp key for me on my silver soprano. Ew. And Russell has my soprano, right?
Yes, it's with me.
Yeah, so
The soprano's
Russell,
with me.
yeah, Russell bought my 82Z silver tenor and my 875 EX silver soprano. So it has no high F sharp. The whole rod and key is gone, and it
Yeah.
has the tone hole is sealed. So that was done professionally at Yamaha. So yeah, I just felt like, firstly it was a weight issue, even on tenor, just having one less rod, one less rib, and one less pad. So the pad is really, for me, it's just I was trying to think of it logically, like one less pad to possibly leak, so, and it's in a high up part, sometimes, moisture gets trapped. but I think key leaves does something to help the high notes, which the palm keys, which we can talk about later. But yeah, so for me, that's the high F sharp thing. And yeah, just, one less issue that could possibly arise. But I know it's tricky because I think for the jazz musicians, a lot of it, this mentality counts because a lot of the old school jazz guys played Selmer Mark Sixes or SBAs or late or earlier than that, which all did not come with high F sharp. So if you see a high F sharp on a later Marks, very early Mark 6, the older vintage ones, they actually had to pay extra to ask for the F sharp key. So I was actually looking at a nice 5-digit Mark 6 on eBay. But it had a lot of red flags because it was from Italy. That's one. So if you guys are on the forums and all, people have a lot of problems with Italy. And then but one thing I liked was the horn is in pretty good condition. It came with a Mike Manning case, and it had a high F sharp for 5-digit. I think it was like 65,000 serial. It had a high F sharp. So my way of thinking, I'm not sure if you guys agree with this, is that anytime there is a custom request, I think Selmer will put in a bit more effort and care into making the instrument before they send it out. So there's another thing about Mark Sixes is sometimes they have this baritone pickup in the neck. So I'm not sure if you guys seen it like on the tenor neck, and there is an attachment to attach these old microphone effects processors. So if you look at some of the old Michael Brecker videos, he has some circular like chimney sticking out. So some of these old Mark Sixes, they either still have it or they took it off and then they flattened it back. So actually, to me, right, and I heard this from a local guy, old guy called Dennis, who has a shop in Singapore. I haven't seen him in 10, 15 years, but he told me, and it makes a lot of sense, that most of these people who ask for this electronic pickup on the neck, they are probably not hobbyists. They are probably professional players touring with electric bands, in the 60s and 70s. And when they're probably Selma artists, and when they request for this additional thing to be done, of course, hopefully it's from the factory lah. I don't talk about those homemade ones, but so chances are Selma is going to make sure that that particular Mark 6 would play extremely well because it's an artist who's going to tour on this. So of course that's folklore. No one will ever know, and you could get a badly damaged Mark 6 with a baritone pickup. For sure.
Actually, one of the earliest jazz artists that started using that was Eddie Harris.
Yeah, I heard of him
The
before.
guy who wrote Cold Dark Time, Eddie Harris, is a legend, and he was one of those guys that actually had one of those baritone pickups on the saxophone. Although I cannot remember whether it's actually a Selmer or not, but yeah, it's one of those guys. So yeah, I don't think it's actually folklore actually, but they just don't really do that anymore. I mean, like Michelina's Selmer
Yeah.
or saxophone, I think
Yeah.
that's one of those things they may have experimented with. I
Mm.
mean, we kind of have to remember that they also Selmer is competing with a lot of new horns now, and a lot of them are coming from Taiwan. So they're and they're a lot of adding a lot of bells and whistles. Like check out those cannonball horns with those not diamonds. I don't know what kind of gems they call it or whatever. It's crazy, and with especially in the classical world, with a lot of modern classical repertoire, um, they do require a saxophone that would have as spot on intonation as possible with as little effort. So they are facing a really tough competition. So I think maybe this is one of those ways they were trying to innovate or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, competition will never end. I mean, the competition is real even right now, so people have to innovate. And yeah, but about the high F sharp, I think the downside of, let's say, if a student asks like, should I get a horn without high F sharp when I'm first learning, I think the problem that I foresee will be that because playing with the alternate F sharp key, it's actually requiring the altissimo skill, right? I'm sure I think I see you guys nodding. So because you can't speak it like the way you would if you just played a palm key F and then you add the F sharp key. That way of speaking the note will not happen if you are voicing your throat. You know, the same way, and if you're trying to do the front F with for I mean I'm and front high F sharp fingerings differ for everyone, but I depending on which horn I'm playing. Yeah, sometimes I need to add the side B flat and the F key as well, you know. And that one, for most people, if you don't have a bit of practice on the overtones and a bit of the gateway to altissimo, like even front E and F, I'm not sure if you guys feel it, like some people would struggle a bit using the front E and front F fingering, just cannot speak the note out, yeah, if you're not voicing it well. So I think that's one potential pitfall. Like if you buy a horn and then you can't play your F sharp, and if you're so new, you won't be spending so much time on altissimo type of voicings. But then on the other hand, maybe it might be a good thing because you're forced to use you know the front F sharp fingerings from the start, and you die got to find your way. So yeah, I mean, could be, depends on how you want to look at it lah. But yeah, I guess that's the
Yeah.
pros and cons, right? Yeah.
And the thing about the front F sharp, and I think Michelina can agree with this also, is that when you have that, that note just speaks a lot better. I still prefer to use the side B flat
Yes,
thing,
for
but I
sure.
do use the that
Yeah.
F sharp key, but it does speak a lot better. The sound is more like, oh,
Yeah, for sure. It's so much
yeah.
easier to speak cleanly. Like I think the F sharp just always tends to want to split up, which then when people want to do that split F sharp key, sound, a bit of the growl, a bit of that split sound, like Eric Maranto loves to use that. Then it helps your cause in that sense. But he always played Mark Sixes that he didn't have any other option, So people who grew up that with that era. I know from 15 years old you got his Mark Six and you have no F sharp, so what are you gonna do? So yeah, but for sure, I mean even front E and F, yeah, I think quite a lot of students have problems with that, but yeah. So Michelina, I think for classical, you guys, high F sharp is like not not possible. Like
No,
people
these
will look at
days.
you funnily if you are in school, right? Is it like that?
I mean, all the method books, all the fingerings, you need the a high F sharp. Yeah. So
Mm,
definitely, I wouldn't buy a
interesting.
horn, or wouldn't recommend, like if someone wants to go into
Mm,
classical, to buy a horn without the high F sharp. Yeah.
that's yeah, but it's so cool, that we value, and to you, a Mark Six without a high F sharp is like, what are you talking about? Even $1,000, I wouldn't buy it. Even if it's a 5 digit. But someone on the opposite end would be like, I'm not gonna pay for a high F sharp. And it's crazy that there are brands. I mean, most brands are charging high, without high F sharp, more expensive. Do you all realize that? So no high F sharp is more expensive than with high F sharp for most brands. Anyone can guess why they think that's the case?
I think it has to do with the machinery,
Yeah.
because if the machinery is already designed in such a way to put a high F sharp, that means they have to do a bit of modification, which you know more manpower or like more work hours or something.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, of course, everyone has their own pricing policies, but I think because F sharps, if let's say a company like Yamaha, like there is a no high F sharp option unless it's a 82Z. Okay, and even then they start to only put it on the unlacquered ones because that's what the jazz players are gonna gravitate towards. So if it's no high F sharp on the unlacquered 82Z, that comes as a potential option. Like it will be listed in the brochure in that sense. But like if you have it on a black lacquer or silver plate, you'll never see a no high F sharp version. I'm sure you can really custom order, but they'll just tell you it's like 9 to 12 months style thing because like why would they put in extra effort just for you, and then probably the machine is gonna punch every single body a tone hole at that spot at the high F sharp part, so to try to specially just for you, I'm gonna only feed I'm gonna find a way to recalibrate so that that machine doesn't punch at that hole just for your one horn. I'm gonna charge you 100, $200 extra. So I think Yamaha is probably the closest that, I mean, Trevor James, I think they don't charge extra for high F sharp, but you still need to ask for it. Yeah, because it still needs to be ordered from the factory that way. Once it reaches UK, there's just no way they can, and they're not going to. But I know people like Jeff Coffin from Yamaha, a Yamaha artist, he had his taken out. Yeah, he's playing a prototype 82Z. So yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's just amazing, right? We value things so differently, and I guess the high F sharp thing is one big thing that we value differently. Yeah, I think Michelina, you're talking about the Lefrak also, right? Like I've tried it before, and also considered stocking them in the shop before, but I think, and yours is solid. Was it solid silver and gold plated? So you find it really helps. I know Cole Saxman is using, some of the Thai guys are all using it, but you find it really makes it more free blowing, or
It helps with a bit of intonation
okay.
and the response for me.
So
Yeah, because I have
intonation.
it,
Mm,
I can move it to put it away, and then like I really notice the difference when I play.
hmm. So in terms of intonation, like how does it help in that sense for the high
Uh,
notes or
Apparently, the overtones are more in tune with the Lefrak.
hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think they're not cheap, right? Definitely over $100 Sing. I can't remember off my head in a
Yeah.
sense.
Anyway,
maybe
guys,
about
I gotta take off now.
350.
So I'll see
350.
you guys
Oh,
soon.
okay.
Sorry
Okay.
about that. Sorry, I have
No
to go.
problem.
Okay,
Thanks,
Thanks for
okay.
having me in the
Julian. See
conversation.
you.
If you
Take
guys are still
care.
around, I'll try to join back.
Can, no problem. We'll see how. Okay. See you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Wow, so yours is 350. Wow.
Quite
Okay,
Cool.
now
pricey.
why is this thing? Is it the additional thing that you fix onto the?
Mm.
This
So it's touching your neck and your mouthpiece, right?
exactly. So it
Mm.
connects the two. Yeah.
Anyone else here tried it before?
I
Russell?
used the Lefrak before. I also
Okay.
sold like a few pieces of them in
Okay.
Indonesia.
Okay. Nice. Do you
Yeah.
like it?
Um, I think it helps. Like I can feel the difference, but it's only a bit. It's not like
Mm.
a major difference as when you change the mouthpiece or when you change like a different saxophone.
Yeah, I guess, same thing is what we value, right? Some people it's like it's
Yeah.
not worth even a $10 top up for me. For some people it's $500 they would pay for that, difference that they make them feel. But yeah, for those who haven't seen it, you can check it out. Forgot how to spell, but I'm sure later in the chat we can share the link. I think now there is so many of these like tone boosting things. Not the neck screws, that's crazy. Neck screws, there is the Clambogan, there is the tone booster, I know. Then what other things that people are trying to do to make it more easier to play? Can you think of any others?
I think there's something called the tone tablet as well, where you install it in
Yes.
the lyre
We
hold
we sell
position.
that and I love it. I still use it all the time. Yeah, it's the same concept as the Clambogan, just that it's much smaller and it's actually made of solid silver. So we know Ishimori has been a big proponent of solid silver. They only make solid silver for the neck screws. They personally feel that it doesn't have to be massive, but the material has to conduct resonance or vibrations well. So solid silver has been always a great choice. So yeah, on all my horns, of course, you realize that Yamaha you never be able to use the tone tablet or Clambogan because there's only one screw. Yeah, so you need horns with a lyre screw side by side. Even if your lyre screw is somewhere else, it doesn't help. So you need a lyre screw on the left. Then you can put the tone tablet in the middle. I mean, for like $30 for a piece of solid silver that fills in that gap, and you never even remember that it's there. Yeah, but I had like udon. I think there was once he didn't even realize it was there, so loosened the screw. I don't know why he loosened the other side and it just dropped out and you can't find it anymore. But yeah, theoretically you put it once and you never have to touch it again. I swear by it because it really conducts the sound much better. I find it more free blowing, and for $30 is really okay for me. I find it's worth that $30, but I think the Clambogan is definitely going to cost more. But that one they are adding mass to it also, so they're trying to fatten up that area with more mass. Have you all tried the Clambogan? Anyone? No.
I use the Kleinbogen.
Oh, you use it
Actually, I have
yourself?
it.
Cool.
Yeah, I do.
So how do
Uh,
you find it?
I actually do feel a very positive difference, but I can't really tell if it's a major or minute difference. But to me, when I was playing the lower registers and the higher registers, the extreme registers, it felt more free blowing. I felt I could push more power through as well. I like it. And the Kleinbogen has two different models. I think one is uh, the one piece where you can actually just install it via your neck screw. So if you are using a Yamaha saxophone, you can actually get their one piece and you just install it via the neck screw. For the other models, you can just get the other model where you can remove the lyre pins and install it into the lyre. I have the other one, not the one piece.
How much do they run roughly if Singapore dollars, let's say?
Singapore dollars, I'm guessing it should be around 100 Sing dollars, slightly more than 100 Sing dollars. I got it for about 300
Okay.
ish
Yeah,
ringgit.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Of course, no one is to say whether that's worth it or not. To someone it's like that's ridiculous. That's my how many meals, at the coffee shop. But yeah, I mean, yeah, at least for me in my mind, it's still not too crazy. Would I stock it? I don't know whether there will be enough of a market. But screws are definitely. I mean, Ishimori screws are not cheap. Also, 100 plus per screw. Yeah. I mine my Trevor James. There isn't an Ishimori screw that fits really well, so I haven't got to play with it. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. But anyone else using Ishimori screws here? No.
Yeah, I do. It's
Oh, okay.
I had a little vintage tenor. It's
Mm.
a Bundy Summer thing. It didn't have a screw on, so I had to find a screw. So we don't went to recommend this Ishimori silver screw.
Okay, nice.
Then there's a lot of difference. And then on my own, when I put in another outside screw, normal, there's a big difference in the voicing. I call it like.
Oops,
So the core voicing actually sounds much better with the silver adding the silver resonance into the neck. Yeah, so Michelina, your silver neck is very, very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I played a silver neck on my. Miss Russell still has it. So Russell has the solid silver C1 neck on the 82Z. So actually, when I was in LA, I was crazy enough. So I flew up to LA to record my album, and I flew up without a tenor. That was how crazy I was. I was playing an unlacquered 82Z. And now when I say it out, I sound a bit loopy, like really crazy. Who records their first ever album, flies up to LA in a 24-hour flight without a saxophone? That's just ridiculous. But yeah, so I was playing an 82Z unlacquered, which I sold to my friend Christian. So he still has it, and I miss it. I love to just play it once in a while, But so because I was so confident that, and I didn't want the unlacquered at that time because I thought that this would be my new baby, and in Singapore's weather the unlacquered will turn like greenish and everything. So I thought, okay, what might hold up well? So I thought silver looked cool. I was between silver and black, but I thought silver was cool. And I can't remember, maybe in LA, the Artist Center, they didn't even have black, but they had two silvers for me to choose from. So I was so trusting in Yamaha. So I just flew up with my Soprano. And basically, I went to my producer's place to get comfortable. The next morning, we drove to the artist center in LA, which is super cool. It's a huge compound that only serves Yamaha artists. And it's not like artists needs to come and repair every day, So they have like their over probably overpaid lah, paid like crazy. I mean, best in America. Jeff Peterson, one of the top guys. He just has to repair artist instruments, not doing like school band instruments every day or something like that, going crazy. So I was the only visitor that day. Can you imagine? So but they had two Yamaha silvers for me to test out, but I think I didn't even test both. So Jeff was very nice. He was like, dude, I already tested both, and this is the one you should be taking as your artist piece. So I think I trusted him. Yeah, maybe I should have tried both anyway, but so I told him that before I flew up, I said I wanted, hopefully, can you cryogenically treat the whole saxophone? So they have all these state of the art things, but only for artist instruments, which is it's not financially prudent lah, for sure. So, but they want, whether it's a horn player or whatever, you can get those treatments. But funny enough, they didn't tell me. They said they will try. So, no matter what, I went up. So when I asked, I was like, oh, so do you manage to dip it in? Is this like minus 1,000-degree freezers? He was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, because they also try to do batching. So they don't want to turn on the machine and do just for one saxophone because it's huge. So it could fit like multiple brass instruments. So they say like unless there's a few people at once who want it, then it's worth the effort to go and do it. He said, but he couldn't fit the whole saxophone, but he managed to put my neck in for one to catch on one of the batches. So yeah, so Russell has it. So that solid silver C1 is actually cryogenically treated. Russell, do you even know that? Did I tell you that? Can't
No,
remember. I didn't even tell you
I
that.
don't think you. Yeah.
Wow, so you got a good
I think what you
deal.
told me was that it came with a V1 neck that was cryogenically treated, but then you sold it to someone.
Ah, okay. Wow. Yes, I think that makes sense. Yes. So even before, yes. So you're correct. So the V1 silver V1 neck that comes with the saxophone, that was what. I mean, I wanted him to cryo the whole instrument. So, but he told me he only can cryo the V1 neck. So I was like, okay, so no problem. So, but after that, they had like all the necks laid out, like V1, C1, E1 in every finish from gold plate to gold, silver, solid silver. So I really tried everything and went crazy. And while he was fixing my soprano, so they're so nice that I brought a soprano up. That of course I bought it from, I forgot where. And yeah, he was just servicing it and taking out the high F sharp for me and everything. Then I tried all the necks, so I really preferred the solid silver C1, which is the smallest ball, and it was the most like Selmer like in that sense, the richest sound I found. The V1 felt like it was voicing weirdly for me, even though I was playing the V1 neck original with the unlacquered 82Z from day one. But yeah, in the end I tried everything. So the solid silver did had a richness, and then funny enough, yeah, I like the smallest ball one, which, maybe for someone playing like pop or smooth jazz may not have been the number one choice. But I think Richard Elliott, who plays a 82Z black, also chose a C1 solid silver. Yeah, so they also gave me a neck screw, which Russell has it on his horn. That was only for the Yamaha artist. And then, yeah, that was a really, really good experience, man. Yeah, but for sure, solid silver, has a special quality, but same thing is, are we willing to pay $1,000, or more for, I think Selmer solid silver is crazy. Yeah, Michelina, will you care to share how much did yours set you back?
My neck, yeah.
Yeah.
It was about 600 euros. But it was a very,
That's
very friend kind of
yeah,
price.
that's okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
good deal. Probably about slightly less than 1,000. I mean, for something that
Yeah.
you can't even find anymore. Yeah, I would price. Yeah, if I were you, I would. But I don't think you'll sell it, right? But if anything, you probably, yeah. That's quite a good deal. I had a Glogger neck before. I think these run, I think generally they're 1,000 plus mark lah. I think if you buy a brand new Selmer Tanner solid silver neck now is going to be crazy. But I know Dave Course uses one. Dave Course uses a solid silver Series 3 neck on his Mark 6 tenor. So yeah, he's always preferred a brighter sound, I guess. Yeah. So anyone else has experience with like solid silver necks or solid silver stuff?
I have a question. Your Glogger neck is for alto or for tenor?
I had it for tenor.
Ah, okay.
And it was actually, I got it to fit 82Zs. But funny enough, it could fit even a Selmer Mark 7 that I had, I think. Yeah, but I sold it recently. Can't remember to who. Yeah, but Selmer Mark 7 tenors are really interesting. I played a Mark 7 alto for a while. So, but yeah, Glogger is nice and they can replicate. They're really good at replicating original. So let's say you play a King Super 20, you solid silver neck that you lost the neck. They're probably the guys who have the curve for it, the measurements, and yeah. So I think when I got the Glogger, I asked him because he just put like Yamaha custom. So I was like, but Yamaha has so many. So what are you referencing? He actually, I remember he told me that he feels is an improvement on all the Yamaha necks. So that's why he makes just that model. It's neither a copy of any of the three or even the old M1, F1, G2, G3. He claims is an improvement. And it did play well. I used it on the unlacquered, but I think I preferred or maybe it was just sentimental. So I preferred the Yamaha C1 solid silver to the Glogger. But I kept the Glogger until probably earlier this year. Yeah, then I moved it. I don't know why I kept it so long. Because it didn't fit on any of my horns, but I was just chucked somewhere. But yeah, solid silver is cool. Anyone else has any experience solid silver stuff?
I think it's the solid silver Cordella mouthpiece from Saxophone.
Yes, that's a really nice piece.
Yeah,
How do you find it?
it plays really well.
Yeah, it's really close to the brass one I had. Yeah, so that's really nice. Yeah. I think we haven't went through everyone in terms of our setup. Well, see, we talk about gear already more than an hour. Okay, I go for we're supposed to go backwards. So In Kwang, what are you playing now on your instruments?
Okay, currently I have a Mark 6 Soprano. Then I have one of Shama's mouthpieces on that. And for that I have a ligature. I couldn't find a very small ligature, so I got this what is the one called the screw at the top? What's the brand?
Silverstein. Is
yeah,
it?
Silverstein. Yeah, that's one. And then for alto and tenor, I haven't fixed on a regular horn yet because I'm still experimenting with different models. Yeah, so those are still in progress. Yeah.
It would be cool to one day compare your Mark 6 Soprano to this Yanagisawa that I just got. It's an old Yanagisawa S6.
Oh, it looks like Mark 6, right?
It's exactly
okay.
It's a basically it was a competitor to Selmer lah. So everything is the same, the fingerings, and it's so light, which is actually what drew me in. There's no strap hook. They don't even make it with a strap hook. So there's no way to hook your neck strap on it. So you have to play it. Right. You have to play
Mark
it.
6 same, right? Mark 6 don't have
your Mark 6 doesn't have also.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, but I think I've seen some Mark 6s that have maybe, but I'm really not too sure about that. Yeah, but this is light but I just need to get used to the palm keys. And I just tried on this Yanagisawa thumb hook today. I took it from the shop to try, to see if my thumb feels better. But yeah, it'll be nice to do a video with Mark 6 versus the S6, Yani. This was this is really one of the first few 1970s model, I think. Yeah, so still very nice condition. Yeah, nice warm sound. I still love my Trevor James, but that one is like probably like slightly heavier. So every few grams on my thumb makes a difference lah. So
yeah, it's the right thumb, right?
My right thumb, and it keeps pulling down. And this one, and even when my Trevor James has a neck strap, I also don't use it all the time. So yeah, it gets a bit painful. So yeah, cool. So alto and tenor, no fixed setup yet lah.
Not yet, lah. Not yet. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll help you sort that out soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Experiment with different kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Actually,
Cool.
the I find that the angle of this what do you call this thumb rest thing plays a big part in distributing the weight or making it more comfortable for the thumb. I used to have
Okay.
my first soprano that I bought like, and then I didn't know what to do about this thing, so I played, and then I had to take a break after half an hour because my thumb was like killing me and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then I developed like the super hard skin thing
Wow.
here because it's just flipping and that.
Mm.
Then after a while, I had a repairman friend. He bent the thumb rest to make it angle, so it doesn't cut so hard. Although it's still a bit more uncomfortable, but bent up. So it's more not straight, but bent this way, so I can hold it more comfortably.
Okay, I
Yeah,
must
I don't know if the one that
definitely.
you have,
I can't picture it now, but I definitely must ask you more about this offline to see how I can sort my thumb thing out. Yeah, cool.
I
think
took
not
off
just- not
the
just us.
entire thumb rest of my soprano
Oh wow.
because
okay.
it hurts my right thumb as well, and my hand gets
Wow.
very twisted. So I just took
Uh-huh.
it off, and
So
I have
you
been
grip.
feeling no pain at all. So it
Nice.
might be interesting to try that.
Yeah. So
You
you.
know thumb rest.
Wow. So
No,
you
yeah.
Then
you
how
grip
to
it on the.
how you you use thing use your strap to hold it.
Yeah, I have a strap. Yeah.
And that's how you did it. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Interesting.
interesting because I know Dave Koz is famous for he wraps his whole, brings his thumb very far into the instrument on across all his saxophones, so he can play without a strap actually. But when I curl my wrist too far in, then my right pinky can't play properly. So that's I've also tried that, but and can't find that sweet spot to curl in to have no pain. If no pain means I cannot play my right hand notes properly, but then pain is like so. But yeah, I'll definitely have to try this, man. If not, quite terrible. Yeah, but cool. Now Russell now only has his curl soprano in Singapore, right? It's a
Yes, but
right?
it's it's a vintage call.
And mouthpiece on it now.
It's a Runyon.
Dave Koz setup. Did you get that from me?
Yes.
You did.
Actually I have 3 Runyon mouthpieces with me right now.
Wow.
So I just got 2 more, and I find like this one was the best playing one.
Nice. Is it refaced?
No, it's original.
Nice. What size? Can't even remember.
It's a size 7.
Nice. Yeah, those are made famous by Dave Koz, Grover Washington, using the Koof mouthpieces. Yeah, but it's the same. Whether it's a
Yes.
Koof mouthpiece or Runyon mouthpiece. Yeah, it's the same. So actually, there's this story. Not sure if you guys know. I think Grover Washington obviously was an endorser for Runyon mouthpieces. So it's like every few weeks or months, he kept asking for a lot of Runyon soprano mouthpieces. So they're like, okay, I know he's an artist and we'll gladly give it to him, but why is he asking? So one day someone decided to ask him like, Grover, why you keep asking for so many soprano mouthpieces? He was like, oh, my students all want to they want to sound like him and they like the mouthpiece, so he just kept giving it to students. So that was the story. But yeah, he sounds great on it. So yeah, I mean, classic Dave Koz set up the
Yes.
Runyon Koof
So
with
even the ligature, I'm using the
Ruffner.
Ruffner ligature, which is what Dave Koz uses as well.
Yeah. Nice, man. Yeah, I still miss my Buscher curl soprano sometimes, I haven't found a con that I really liked, but yeah, after a while, yeah, I'm gonna do a video on like straight versus curve soon. Yeah, it's I guess it's always an eternal question, or even like sopranos, straight neck or curved neck is yeah, I guess it's a never-ending debate lah. So yeah, you only have your soprano now, so but Russell has tons of horns at home, right? And
Yes. So currently, I just counted my saxophone. I have a total of about 16 professional saxophones.
Wow. Can you
And
list them out?
for mouthpieces, I have like 50, 50 plus.
Wow.
15 of them are Tiowani mouthpieces.
15 Tiwani.
15 are Tiowani.
Wow. Wow. Can you list out your saxophones? If you can remember.
Saxophone might be difficult.
From
For
soprano
soprano,
to baritone.
I have this con and a Yamaha, your Yamaha soprano.
Okay. Mm.
Then for tenor, I have three. So vintage SML Rev D, silver
Mm.
plated, Yamaha A22C silver, and a Java saxophone. It's an Indonesian brand,
Oh,
but
okay.
they
You
make
actually
their
bought one.
saxophones
How
in
does it
Taiwan.
play?
It plays really well, just like all the other Taiwan
Yeah,
saxophones.
yeah. Which finish do you
But the
get?
price point is just very cheap.
Oh, is it? How much is it? Sing dollars, let's say.
Last time it used to sell for 2,500 USD new.
Mm.
Yeah, but I got
Now,
mine secondhand for just like 1,500 Singapore dollars.
wow.
Yeah,
That's a good
and
deal
it's
for
an
sure.
unlacquered finish.
Okay, nice. The same one Bayou plays or that
Bayou
unlacquered?
plays a signature finish,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
the same model. It's the signature model.
Okay, cool, nice. Then altos?
And altos, I have Yanagisawa
Mm,
WO20,
mm,
Selmer Mark 6.
mm,
I also have a King Super 20.
mm.
And for baritone, I have a Selmer Mark 6 as well.
Nice. And
Yeah.
mouthpieces, I know you
And
got.
there are some like other horns that I might
Mm,
forget.
yeah, so many until you forget already. I think my record was 14. 14 was the most I had at one point. Yeah, but yeah, crazy world, man. Cool. So yeah, anyone who needs to know about saxophones or mouthpiece stuff can check with Russell. Yeah. Next we have Vincent. What's your setup now?
Okay. So I have a 62 Yamaha 62 Series 1
Mm.
and a V1 neck, solid silver V1 neck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Solid silver.
Yeah. And I have this AM mouthpiece.
Mm. Mm.
It's his new model called AMSS. It plays a little bit like Mayer mouthpieces.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm on now. I also just want to share
Mm.
on my 62, I have this thumb rest.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Daniel,
You
I
were
showed you
saying,
this
yeah, yeah,
before.
you showed me.
Yeah, so it's called a WAW thumb rest. So what it does is instead of putting it here, you can actually put your thumb here, which makes your hand this way instead of this
It's
way.
very nice.
That's
Yeah,
very
so cover the tone
interesting.
hole, cover the
Yeah,
key guard. Yeah.
yeah, extra for protection, but it's also for
Wow,
you to rest your thumb. So when you have
that's
your
cool.
strap on, yeah, you probably can
Oh,
get rid of the thumb pain or something.
Yeah. I don't have
oh,
problem
Yeah.
on alto and tenor. It's purely
Mm.
soprano. So mine without a
Ah,
strap hook, this would probably not work. But it seems like I mean
yeah.
for people who even have issues with playing alto and tenor, the thumb that looks quite cool. How much does that run for? How
They
much?
have it's 3D printed, so this is metal. The
Mm.
plastic one goes for about 20 plus USD.
Wow. I mean that's
Yeah.
uh,
But if if you want, then probably Singapore, we can do a consolidated buy because the shipping is quite
which
costly if you just buy by itself.
country is this from again?
Uh, if I'm not wrong, it's from Ireland. It's 3D printed in Ireland, so the
Mm.
person shares his 3D file to this place that does the 3D printing. Mm.
Nice,
And
nice.
I've
you fix it yourself? Is it you
yeah,
fix it yourself?
yeah, it's
Do
quite
you have
easy.
to take out another key guard to put this
No,
on?
just the original key guard is still on.
It
Oh,
just goes over to have
Yeah.
a extra
Oh, okay,
pivot
okay.
point lah.
So you just take out this
Take out your original the thumb rest, that one,
armrest, yeah,
and then
and
you
fit it
fix the
on.
whole thing over. Oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
And just a KJU neck screw.
KJU also never heard
Yeah.
before.
It's
Nice.
just
okay.
fancy lah.
Yeah, well, it looks like the same design as the Yamaha one, right? So, Russell,
Yeah.
same as that round. It's like cylinder shaped ones. Yeah, cool.
It's quite heavy lah,
Yeah,
heavier than
quite
the
Yeah,
quite
normal.
heavy.
heavier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
nice.
Yeah.
And I think for tenor, you have a was it Lianqing or another brand?
Yeah,
Can't
I have
remember.
Lian Chang from Taiwan.
Hmm.
So I went there to play and try and get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an unlacquered model, and I have a Shakshama ring, a solid silver Shakshama ring
Hmm.
mouthpiece.
Hmm.
I still to this day cannot find a replacement for that piece. It's very very
Hmm.
good.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, for sure he does. He does nice stuff. Yeah, can't wait to have
yeah.
him back here again. He's back in Macedonia. Yeah, I spoke to him a
Mm.
while back. I might be getting him on. So I'm thinking, I mean, not sure if you guys would be keen or think it's a good idea. Just like different series. So I might have like a refacer series. I already spoke to Matt Morantz from New York and Sakshama. They're all on board. I'm trying to get one with Jody Jazz and Trevor James to just have them, like Trevor James would be nice to have like the salesperson in charge, the one of the owners, one of the chief repair specialist who designed the horns, and whoever wants to come on can ask them questions directly. That I may not even have answers for that. So I mean, I think just connecting our community closer to these manufacturers, or it could be Silverstein's boss or whoever. If we have a Selma or Yanni rep or Yamaha rep, might be nice. So do you all think that's a good idea? Like would it be of interest to meet the owners of these companies?
I
Yeah.
think that would be cool. And going back to Michelina, I think
Mm.
I was a while back. I just saw something from I don't know how legit, but there's something from Steve Goodson with the same kind of octave key on his necks. Yeah, so I can send out the link later. It's quite
Mm.
interesting.
Okay, cool. I know there are people making saxophones with like multiple octave keys itself already, right?
Mm,
Or something like
yeah.
that. Or multiple like what do they call it? Like the venting holes, or I don't know what that is, but yeah, interesting. Yeah, cool. Thanks for sharing. Then lastly we have KY. Can share about your setup that you're playing.
Oh, I use P. Morit Black Pearl Alto currently.
Mm.
For mouthpiece, I'm interchanging between a Gotsu and Field Tone.
Mm.
I have a few other mouthpieces as well, but I don't really touch them currently for my practice. Ligature, I'm using the Yanni 6. I have a Silverstein Cryo on the way from Daniel, but unfortunately, due to the MCO, it can't be sent.
Yes.
I'm using Van Doren reeds, but I've actually tried. I'm still in the process of trying to find what is a good setup for me. I think I've almost ordered all the readily available reed brands around the world.
Yeah.
I've got like all the boxes lying around for me to test on different, depending on the setup that I'm using. I have the Klangbogen I mentioned earlier. Uh, yeah, that's for alto because I primarily play the alto now.
Mm.
For tenor, I've already told Daniel that I will just get whatever his setup is, and I want him to sign on my saxophone and mouthpiece.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'll be honored
Autograph.
to, and I will
Or
I will practice signing the signatures. Yeah. But cool, I'm not sure whether my current student, like he was a customer first who bought the instrument, and we actually just had a lesson earlier today, Nice guy, and for first time playing alto sounded really, really good. Yeah, he's playing that Sios and the Black Frost, so yeah, for sure. I think KY prefers the TJ Raw to the Cowerth that I was playing for a while. Yeah, I also recently, I don't know, yeah, not feeling the Cowerth these few days, but then my mood changes like so fast. But yeah, cool. Yeah, for tenor, yeah, you can come down and try and see whether you like it or not. Yeah, cool. I think the Black Pearl is quite rare, even for amongst Moriat. It's quite a rare finish. I think I might have tried a tenor before. Can't remember, a long time ago. But yeah, I think you were saying it discontinued quite fast, right? So you managed to get your
Yeah,
hands on.
I was quite lucky. It was a second-hand unused model, and I decided to get it this year because
Yeah.
my friend was actually the first distributor of P. Moriat in Malaysia many years ago. So at that time, they brought in P. Moriat, and they are quite old, way older than I am. So they've retired. But somehow, when he brought in, when he was still distributing, he ordered in the Black Pearl. The Black Pearl is a custom made model, so it's not like a ready stock. You have to custom order.
Yeah.
He wanted to keep it for himself, but because he suffered stroke and he can't play the saxophone anymore, he decided to let it go to me, let it off to me for a very, very good price. Yeah, so that's how I ended up with it. I in fact had a chat with the owner of P. Moriat. They were quite surprised that I have a Black Pearl because they say even they don't have it in Taiwan. Yeah, so yeah, quite rare.
It's quite
Thankfully.
crazy. Yeah. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. Anyone has any questions or topics you want to discuss? I could go on forever, so I don't want to bore you guys, but maybe someone can chip in with a question or a thought or on a topic.
Just a really quick question. How do you spell Clambogan?
Very good point. Kiwai got to share in the chat later.
Clambogan is a KLANGBOGEN. They're actually under the Reed Gig company as well. So one product of theirs that I would highly recommend, which I'm currently using, is actually the Reed Gig. It's a reed product whereby you try to really flatten the reed before you use it. It has helped me save a lot of money in terms of opening boxes of reeds and trying them out. Yeah,
I think
check
that
them out.
I was talking to Julian about this just a few days ago about reed gigs. Same eternal struggle. Do I stock it in the shop or not? Because is there a market? I think Christian, he went to NAM, one of our part-time repairman, fellow saxophonists in the scene. He tried, met them, he bought one on the spot, and but I always try to like get feelers out. I asked Christian, if I bring it in, and we can't just bring in like one or two pieces, let's say 10 pieces. Do we have 10 saxophonists in Singapore and the region who are willing to buy a piece of metal that is above 100 Singapore dollars? How much do you pay for yours, Akiwai?
I think I paid about 200 plus ringgit. So that's like less than 100 Sing dollars.
Yeah, and that's the basic model, just the silver color one.
Yeah, just the basic, not the black diamond model.
Yeah, the black
in fact,
diamond
it's
will
the
be-
same. I think it has the same function.
Yeah.
It's just a fancier finish. For the price increase, I didn't think it was worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I also had one long ago, one or two pieces, and yeah, like as a consumer, of course, it's a much easier decision. Just buy or don't buy, But I guess to stock multiple pieces, like I don't know, the rest of you, would you guys buy a reed gig to adjust your reeds?
I play a ledger artist, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that's
So
quite okay for me.
yeah. I'm playing Leisure now as well. So I have no use for it. Michelina, you're saying you won't pay for it, right?
I also play Leger on all four saxophones. Yeah.
Okay, so
I also play Ledger
wow.
for 2 years now, and I haven't touched cane reeds since then.
Wow. Cool. In Kwang?
Actually, from my experience, even the Nigeria reads, I've experienced inconsistencies across the
For
same
sure.
size.
Yes.
Yeah, just for some reason, even this one have, but I have some very good ones, so I'm quite thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like today, I usually use a 2.5 tenor, which I've been playing for like past few weeks, so many shows, and yeah, just suddenly it started feeling a bit weird. So I took out another 2.5 that I had lying around, and yeah, plays much better. So for sure, I think sometimes when it gets overstrained, like you play super hard and loud, I think it can go wonky or so. But I'm surprised. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, almost everyone playing Leisure. Wow, that could be something to think about, man. Our
I use a
Leisure's
Ledger as well. On and off.
that's
I use a Ledger as well. Yes.
yeah, and our Leisure stock has been quite terrible because yeah, US has been locked down for a while. So like auto size 2, auto we don't have anything below size 3 now. So all the 2 and 2 something is all gone. Yeah, which is quite crazy, but yeah, I'm always eternally struggling. I don't think I'll ever decide on the cane versus synthetic route. But Leisure for sure within the realm of synthetic, I think it's one of the pretty strong competitors. Diadaro just came out with the Venn reed, VENN. Haven't tried it. Don't really intend to. So I think it's a very saturated market. Even Silverstein Alta, I have one slightly too hard for me, so I can't get a good test. But they've been hounding us. But I'm just like. And it's more expensive than a Leisure. So yeah, but I know Cole Saxman in Thailand loves the Alta. So, and if he loves it wholeheartedly, then he'll probably be able to move a lot of sales. So I'm sure he's doing okay. But over here, no one really, you know, dares to vouch for it wholeheartedly. So a bit harder. Then, of course, there's an old fiber cell, which is very hard to get hands on also, but a bit buzzy. Then I tried the fiber reed. Yeah, that one didn't really cut it also. And Forest Stone loved it for a while. Then almost everyone around me plus me was like squeaking like mad. So I think it warps quite badly after a while. So that's a no as well. Yeah, so synthetic reeds versus cane reeds, I think will never end lah. But yeah, for now, yeah, I think Ishimori was probably the closest good cane reed that I've had recently. Not sure if you guys have experience with Ishimori reeds. Then what was the other? I think Kiwa we were talking about the Boston Sex Shop, right? So Boston Sex Shop reads. That's another one supposed to be worldwide, doing very well. We are considering being a dealer. Still trying to think about it, and I think he got Better Sex to do a post on it, and apparently it sold out. Yeah, he wiped out the his stock because of that video that Better Sex did, saying that it was his best reads he ever tried. So don't know how true lah. I mean, yeah, if he gets
And
a cut, from the
and
good
Better
singers.
Sex has moved on to Lupi Faro Reeds.
Oh, is
Now,
it?
yeah, he just did another
Which is
video
probably
on
I think I saw. Which is probably a
Lupi Faro
sponsored
giveaway.
video also. So
Yeah.
I think that's also going to be tricky lah. When we consume videos or people saying like I'm a so and so endorser. Like I have a friend, I don't want to mention names. Not from Singapore lah. Established artist in another country. He says I'm a Jody Jazz artist. Okay, maybe I. If I say that, it'll be too obvious who in case he watches it. But he's like, oh, I play mouthpiece A. I'm an endorser for mouthpiece A, but I don't play mouthpiece A. I'm an endorser for reed B, but I don't play reed B. I'm an endorser for ligature C, but I don't play ligature C. It's like super funny, man. But no one cares because he sounds good on it, no matter what. He has so many horns and mouthpieces. But yeah, I guess always with a pinch of salt. I mean, anyone doing like online promotions, saying like and giveaways, I guess, but I mean, you can't blame them, of course, if someone wants to come in and sponsor their post. But I guess we have to really analyze and see whether, hey, is that person wholeheartedly, playing that instrument, Actually, funny enough, even when I first got the Coworth, I was very quick to post about it lah, because I don't want to have like Trevor James, hounding me as well, So yeah, like that black Cowolf was the same horn that I played when I met my wife, sentimental. So I was like, okay, when I saw it for sale, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna think twice. I'm just gonna get one. And actually, I have my eye on getting one more, because I've had people wanting to buy it. So I thought, okay, if I get one more, then I'll just sell that one, and I can still keep this one lah. So straight away, I was like, okay, I better post and tell people like, this is not my main horn. I'm just getting it sentimental. Of course, I'll play it once in a while. I love Kirk Whalum, and that's why I got that Cowolf in the first place. So yeah lah, I guess sometimes got to be honest upfront, because there are some companies that so yeah. Also another friend who, the story is, I just tagged him in a post of a brand that I play. I tagged him, and then after that, he got a long email from the owner of that company that he endorses. I'm like, come on, man. It's not like even he posted a video of him playing or what, I just tagged him in my photo, and that guy couldn't take it and like wrote him a super duper long email. So my friend had to tell me like, hey bro, just don't tag me in any more of this. I was like, sure, but I guess it helped him to realize who he was, dealing with and working with for so long. So I guess, yeah, we just all got to be careful. If I mean, it's very funny, right? Like, I'm sure the Better Sax video that he did for Boston Sax Read, it was titled probably like Best Saxophone Reads I've Ever Played or something like that. Then I think the latest Lupi Faro one is also Best Saxophone Read I Ever Played or something like that. So every new company endorses, and you then, yeah lah, I guess. But I'm sure in the world of like, influencers and people taking sponsored money, that's going to be a trick lah. I mean, very tricky thing. Do you want to take the money and then, just shout it out, and then but everyone knows, let's say worst still, he doesn't even play Lupi Faro, he plays Ligatures or what, then, yeah, I think Nigel McGill, yeah, I think he plays like Tijuani and Ligatures, yeah, or something like that. So yeah, it's good. I mean, if you're consistent your whole time, then for sure, no problem. Just if people catch you playing something else all the time, then yeah lah, a bit funny. Yeah. Anyone else? Any topics or questions that we could discuss?
I'm just
Mm.
very curious. Usually now you're playing for classical music, right? Is or rather are synthetic reeds no go, or is it only recently picked up in that scene?
I think it's been a while already because you see like a lot of members of like the Berliner field, like the clarinetists, they're using synthetic reeds as well. And I think like it comes with saxophone as well because my teacher plays on synthetic reeds. For me, I moved to synthetic reeds because like I find like traveling to different continents very tough when I'm playing cane. I had a lot of worries because I was going through winter, summer, and wow, it was a huge headache. Yeah, and then it worked for me. It was like I was very very happy with the convenience, and the sound is really good too. Yeah, yeah. But I'm curious what line of the jazz you all play, the signature or the classic?
Signature for me. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Eng Kwang and Russell KY.
I have the signature as well.
I've tried signature. Yeah.
I used to play on the studio, but then I feel that was too bright. Then I moved on to the signature. So I'm
So
using
we are
signature for about like 1.5 years.
wow. So we're all playing on same reeds, probably different sizes, and we
Yep.
get such different sounds. Yeah, very interesting.
How many of
Yeah,
the reads do you keep at one time, or it cycle around?
I have quite a few uh good ones, 5 or 6. Yeah,
And then there are practice beats, right? Those only for practice kind.
I use them normally. It doesn't get so soft for me. I mean, it doesn't deteriorate so much. I find. Yeah.
Russell, so your mouthpiece work? Do you only experiment on your own mouthpieces, or you actually had people asking you to help them fix their mouthpiece because of certain things?
Um, so I started experimenting on my own pieces, but then I also started accepting jobs from people. But that was when I was back in Indonesia. Then at 2017, when I moved to Singapore, um, I didn't know how to approach the Singapore market. Then I kind of stopped doing it for the public.
Sorry, I went to toilet and get wine. What did I miss?
No, we're just asking about the geo rate, how many we have at one time, and then yeah, this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. How many Ligatures do we have at one time? I don't know. Over the years, I've accumulated, man. Like, even without knowing, even though when I wasn't playing Ligatures so often, I go to it once in a while where I get pissed off with cane reeds. But yeah, do y'all have a lot each per instrument, per size, or I have a wide, variety of them lah. So because sometimes if my embouchure feels really tired, I might drop a quarter size or something. I cannot just keep whacking through the same strength. So do y'all have different strengths, or you just like, if it's size 3, it's like I have 8 pieces of size 3 or something like that? Like, which camp are y'all in?
For me, it depends on like the circumstance I'm playing. Like if I'm playing a concerto, then definitely I have some harder reeds. If not, if it's chamber music, then it's the softer, the more easier to manipulate with kind of reeds. Yeah. So I have like a variety.
But even when it comes to I get so affected when my reeds are not optimum, whether it's slightly soft or slightly hard. I don't know. Do you mention it? Do you feel okay like when you have to play, like when you say harder means like quarter size harder or half size, or how much harder when you need to go up?
Quarter,
Okay, and it still feels
but they're
comfortable
not
to
very
you?
consistent. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, still feels comfortable to you, or you have to like really prep yourself to whack through, to
I
play a
have to
hard.
get in I have to prepare lah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Then when you suddenly go to your softer reads, it's like total change again, right? I don't know. For me, it's like that lah. But yeah, I really respect if you guys can. I guess it's like training for a role, right? In that sense, to really.
Mm.
Okay, interesting. The rest of y'all, do y'all have multiple sizes, slightly softer, slightly harder for different, or maybe easier? Anyone here only sticks to like size 2.5 and only has size 2.5 or something like that? Anyone for leisure? Nobody. Russell?
So I play on a 2 1/4,
Mm-hmm.
and I always keep like a quarter size down and a quarter size up.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty of leisure, I mean, for me, I never like to give people and saying like, oh, this is the best, you must buy this one. No, it's really just always pros and cons of every brand, and you make your choice. It'll be too tiring to keep telling people what to buy, but for leisure, that's always been the selling point, because they're willing to do quarter sizes, and half sizes feel like night and day to me. If I had to jump half sizes, it's so crazy. But yeah, I think leisure is great, and I'm sure doing well worldwide because of that fact, and really coming the closest lah. Of course, I guess we are all talking about the signature cut only, right? I don't think the classic is too hard and stiff. Even for classical, I'm sure it's totally not reed like already in that sense. Then the studio is too bright and buzzy, almost like the fiber reed type. But anyone uses anything other than the signature cut?
I started on the studio,
Okay.
but
For
it was too bright, like you said. Then I
yeah,
switched to signature.
like I don't even
It
stock
was crazy
anything.
bright.
Yeah, so I don't even stock anything other than signature, and I know a lot of people are the same. Maybe only in the US unless they have a few others, but yeah. Cool, nice to know that. I mean, so many of you guys like leisure. The cane is always a love hate, you know. And of course, within cane, I have my favorites, which I'll still recommend to people. And actually, Michelina, you teach as well. So would you, let's say a brand new beginner, Yamaha 4C, needs to first time ever playing a saxophone, would you recommend Leger or start with Kane first? Hmm. Same as me.
Definitely
Yeah.
clean first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your reasoning for that would be.
I mean, you have to struggle first to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. But you
I know,
see,
like, man.
sorry, Enquang?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the learning journey of going through different cane inconsistencies is a very good lesson and take point. Take, like, one thing it builds on your even really different same number and then same model, you have different voicing or kind of
Of course.
nuances with the same kind of beat. I guess
Yeah.
you that itself is something very interesting lah.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
sometimes on the other side, my thinking is I already know what is going to make their life easier. Why am I not telling them to go down that route? Because I'm the same. For every new beginner, it's always a box of size 2 cane. That's the standard. And for me personally, it's not so much that need them to suffer or anything, but I think traditionally that's what the saxophone was. When it was created, it was probably with cane reeds. I would, and that's the most traditional, form. So I feel like, I don't want to let, let's say, if you have a kid and the kid is learning driving, but learning driving on a Lamborghini, then wait, the kid grows up thinking that all cars look like that. So similarly on the sense, I want, I guess beginners to know the heritage in that sense. So cane is still the most ideal. I don't want to force my agenda on them in that sense. Let them try it first. It'll still sound okay, you know. And maybe sounding a bit richer, because I'm sure we all feel the Legiers can be a bit brighter than, let's say, a corresponding, a good solid cane one, But yeah, I'm also the same. So interesting that anyone here learned on Legier. Had someone tell you to learn on Leisure? I think rare lah. I think rare. I think yeah. Cool. So at least it helps me reaffirm I'm not telling people to do the wrong things. Yeah, it's cool. And speaking of lessons, like Michelina, have you felt a uptick in saxophone lessons? Beginners learning or anything?
Since the COVID?
Mm.
No, not actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I think a lot of your teaching will be in schools also, right? I'm sure you tutor quite a few bands. So that is like obviously cut off. Yeah. Hey, but you guys are doing the camp,
Yes.
right? Yeah, you want to
If
share
anyone is
more?
interested.
Share more about the camp upcoming. Yeah. Sam has been sending me some stuff. Yeah, why don't you share
Okay.
more a bit? Yeah.
So basically, we're planning to take a weekend and, giving like our 4 persons ideas about saxophone playing, fundamentals, covering all the aspects of saxophone playing. So we have little lectures in the morning. We call them lectures, but they're more like a discussion and like getting everyone's input. And then individual lessons for the active participants in the afternoon. And then the evenings we have the first night is a student concert. No, the instructor concert, and the second night we have a student concert. The other way around. Yeah.
How are you planning to do the concert? Like the playing together? Is it like
So it will be
pre-recorded?
individual.
Okay. Not
Yeah.
not like a quartet performance. Because
Unfortunately not.
if you can pull that off,
But
I'll be trying to
I have a
ask
cool
you
idea
how
for my piece. Not
right?
sure if anyone knows Tomasi's concerto. So there's this little cadenza where the harp goes da 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 da, and then if 4 people does it, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be in rhythm. So I think the leg could really work and help. Yeah.
Interesting. Actually, I've been trying to figure it out, and I mean, worldwide musicians have been trying to figure this out, But I think the problem with Zoom is it was never created for musicians, for live
That's right.
performances.
Yeah,
So
that's
even
right.
if like you guys play your saxophone right now, and I mean I have some settings that make it a bit better, but the way Zoom will process your saxophone will be distorted. Like even I have some students, they hold a long tone and then it will just die off. It just like fizzles off and it's quite bad. So, but I've tried it. Actually, I got a guest to play guitar, and I actually played perfect, and it actually worked. The tricky thing is the signal. So let's say your voice let's say you guys talk right now, right? Everyone hears it in time. I hear it in time as well as the, let's say, the host of the chat. The problem is you guys are hearing my voice delayed about half a second. So if let's say Michelina were to play a song now, even with a metronome going, I hear you perfectly, you and the metronome, and I feel like I'm playing with you in perfect time. But you will feel I'm always late, consistently late. So, but there is a way to get around that, but which then also defeats the purpose of live music, is that you have to ignore me. So you will probably have to have one earphone out and you just go. You keep time. So you can be playing a piano or whatever. You just go, you keep time. The audience on YouTube will sound like we are perfectly in sync, but I will never be in sync with you. So that is the biggest problem now, because the loop is, by the time it loops back from your sound comes to me, I react to it, loops back into Zoom and reaches back you where you are, there's a lag there. And I've asked some people, like, it would be, probably millions and
One
millions.
second
Yep.
plus.
So far we tested.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course, if your internet connection is horrible, your laptop is old Mac from the 1990s, of course, it's gonna make it worse. But for us, we tried. So basically, what I'm doing, right, is like now my streaming onto YouTube is not even going through my computer. It's going through a A10 Mini Pro video mixer, which has its own LAN cable, which I plugged in. So I have two LAN cables, one in my laptop, one in my A10 Mini Pro. And basically, I can toggle, I can put myself up on screen. I don't know whether you guys are looking at the YouTube video now. If you look at the YouTube video, you'll see I'm at the bottom left. So I made myself on the bottom left, and I can actually turn myself on and off. So what I'm doing, you'll see it's slightly delayed lah. The YouTube is also delayed. But I'm turning myself on and off, on and off, on and off. So I'm doing all this with the video mixer, and then if you watch on YouTube, I can change to just me talking to people or feed you guys on the screen. Yeah. So so that helps, because I imagine, right, if I'm hosting this Zoom call and I'm streaming all on the same computer. We tried that before. Even just streaming using the computer, it overheats. The fan is working like mad, and mine is already a MacBook Pro with a touch bar one, which is not bad already. So we bought this device for less than 1,000. It's 900 plus, that I can bypass my computer. So if I'm not hosting a Zoom call now with you guys, right, the stream is effortless in terms of taxing the computer lah. It doesn't, because the hardware device does it. So that's why it's the only way I can have a very nice Zoom call with you guys. I have two LAN cables, and my computer just needs to take care of the Zoom call. My streaming to both Facebook and YouTube concurrently right now on my page is through the A10 Mini hardware. Yeah, the video mixer. So pretty cool. If you guys, want to ever do more of that, yeah, you can let me know. I can share. But yeah, so the half a second lag is already because, I mean, this is one of the, I wouldn't say the best equipment, but it's not taxing. It's using up very little of my computer's, abilities in that sense, and my Wi-Fi ability. So in Kwang, for sure, there are some people, this lag, right, returning through Zoom is 2 seconds. If you use an ancient computer and a 4G, and not LAN cable, it doesn't help the cause last. But even with good proper equipment, there's still half a second. So, but there are people who can do it perfectly. So to the audience, you can play as a band. Everyone just needs to ignore everyone else. But then if we think about it and we ask ourselves, why are we trying to spend so much effort to play as a band to not listen to each other? It's like, then why are we collaborating? You know, where is that music making when ironically I'm trying to ignore your sound coming back to me? You know, of course there are still people doing it, and I'm sure eventually we will find a good way to do it. But yeah, I'm actually doing a 12-hour live stream this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, we're gonna announce it real soon. But maybe I can share. Am I allowed to share? Okay, let me see if my. I think I am. Anyway, it's Saturday already, so we have cross border, and I really want this Zoom musical collaboration to work out, because not so much about collaborating in Singapore musicians, because I'm sure very soon we'll get the chance to do that again. Even within Asia, we'll get a chance to meet and play in person, you know. But it's really the cross border international collaboration. So we have a guest. My first guest is Adam Hawley from the US. He's Dave. He's one of the first call for all the smooth jazz artists, Billboard charting guitarist himself, Adam Hawley. So you'll be in LA, 15-hour time difference. We'll be playing some music together. He'll be the first guest. Then after that, I have Saxman. Cole is a saxman from Thailand. Will be a guest as well. Let me see who else off my head. So and then we have Kevin Fu, who is actually the head of Sony Taiwan. So the acts under him right now are Eric Zhou, Jam Tang, and many others. So he will be a great guy, because I know people love Eric Zhou here. Once I started doing some Eric Zhou songs, people were messaging me on Instagram and kept talking about it. So that's what clicked, and I was like, okay, maybe I should have some Chinese market representation in our live stream. So we'll be talking to Kevin on Saturday. That's amazing. And then we asked Minister Grace Fu, and she'll be coming on the show. So as you can see, it's pretty diverse people. Yeah, because she's really so cool and happening, man. And she even asked, do you want me to sing? So we were like, sure, because actually how we got connected with her is one of her staff reached out to my wife, and then they wanted to just know more about how this was late last year, maybe, like how freelancer Singaporean musicians were doing. So we wanted to find a place outside, but in the end we couldn't. And in the end we were like, you want to just come to our house? And she was like, sure. So she came to our house and hang for like 1-2 hours, and then she came and saw the studio that I'm in now. And I was like, you want to see how we record music? She was like, sure. Then I just jokingly asked her, like, you want to record a song, and I send you a copy after that. She was like, sure. She was like super sporting, and we actually have that video, and we were teasing her. We were saying like, do you want us to play that live on YouTube for everyone to see? I don't know what's the answer to that. I should go and see, but she's super cool. And because she works with community and the arts and everything, so we thought, yeah, just have a chat. And it was an instant yes for her when we asked her. So that's really cool. So we have Grace Fu on Saturday. Then we have Joanna Dong, who will be coming in. That would be really cool. We're gonna do 2 songs together, talk a bit. So that's cool. And then we have Joshua Simon, radio DJ, coming on. And then we have Aisha Aziz, singer as well. So yeah, Saturday is gonna be a very interesting 12-hour thing. Yes, Vincent, do you have anything to say?
You really got the big guns, and really good work, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just it was the idea first came out. I don't know whether some of you have been on my other streams. I said like, why don't I do a 24-hour live stream and play for 24 hours? And of course that sounded stupid after I said it out. But so I have a lot of this crazy thoughts in my head all the time. So I'll be like, okay, let's not be crazy. So let me halve it. So let me do 12 hours. And even then, I'm sure that sounds crazy for most people, but to me, that's already half only. So okay, 12 hours, no problem. I'll do it. I'll just take like toilet breaks here and there, and maybe put up some videos while I take a bite. So I was like, no problem, I'll play one person 12 hours. Then we were discussing, and I was like, okay, why don't I do it with my wife and I? So at least we split, and we rarely get to do together. Because now the setup that we do, we can control it much better. If not, I tell you, there's too many things going on, and we always need one person to manage the live stream, and one person can perform at once only. So now we sorted out, we can finally do two people. So I thought, okay, pull her in. 12 hours within two of us, can or not? Okay, can. Never mind. Then we're like, how about we make a music festival? Like a 12-hour music festival with guests from all over the world scheduled nicely. So we're going to release the poster. My wife just designed it today and it looks amazing. And we're going to have like the schedule so that everyone knows like what time is who. Really like a TV program, a music festival. And just now over dinner, we just looked at ourselves and like, seriously, from a crazy idea of doing a 12-hour live stream, just me playing saxophone, that's crazy enough already. But now we're gonna have like programmed, and we have to work with every single individual now to make sure their setup is okay at home. We know what we are doing. If need to rehearse, need to rehearse. And like for Joe Dong, I have to program some backing tracks, and tomorrow I have to record it to use for the show. So it's just like from a crazy idea, it's turned into this. And then I decide to text Eric Marienthal and like, hey Eric, like, will you be keen to come on my show? He was like, sure. I was like, oh no. And then I was like, should I wait till next week? But honestly, I was too excited to wait till next week. So I was like, okay, today I'm really doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday 2 shows, Saturday 12 hours. And then the crazy me is just like, Eric, are you free Sunday 11 a.m. my time, which is 8 p.m. his time? He was like, sure, let's do it. So that's how I have a crazy now from Wednesday to Sunday schedule out. But yeah, I guess for me it's always been like, just ask first. If you don't ask, it's a guaranteed no, right? That's 100% no. So yeah, I guess I think I've been saying that a lot. So even people ask me, how do you get your first album produced by like this guy or whoever? And it's just like, I emailed, and they actually said yes. So it's crazy. And then I have a lot more exciting news to share with you guys also so I had a Zoom call with Eric Marienthal this morning, our time. To sort out what we're gonna cover and make sure his gear is all okay. And then he tells me that there's another okay, so we'll see whether I can share more or not. But yeah, there's another like amazing saxophonist who is hoping to do more like master classes and online stuff, and Eric's gonna recommend me to work with this guy, and yeah, it's just gonna be so crazy. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know how we got to this point, to this conversation topic, but anyway, yeah, that's this weekend. But yeah, I guess, yeah, constantly, I guess if you guys have any ideas, we can, see how we can draw the saxophone community together. And at this point, hopefully people can see it's not like, we're charging money for these things or whatever. It's just hopefully, yeah, just draw people in. Like someone like Eric, of course we're gonna talk about his mouthpieces, his online courses, his new albums and all, which hopefully people will support him, but he's not asking for like money or anything. Of course one day he would love to be paid nicely for all this, but I think that at this time of COVID and everything, people are a lot more giving of their time also. I mean, what else is he gonna do if he's not touring outside? I mean, of course, not saying he's only doing this because there's nothing else going, but I think everyone has a lot to give. So yeah, maybe Michelina, if you know any like amazing classical or people you never know, man. Like even like the top of the top, you think like no way they will no way they will say yes. I mean, for me, I'm always a walking example that there are there are enough people who might say yes. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas, or even like in the pop and jazz world, if you guys really want to see like someone come on the show, either it could be a paid masterclass, even a paid masterclass. What is $20 to have a video masterclass with an amazing guy that you would have to fly to, let's say, US or Europe? I mean, even if you have to pay a bit, I think it's a small price to pay, to connect. And now is the best chance because they probably, they wouldn't mind a nice paycheck as well, So yeah, maybe we can see who, maybe everyone can share like who would they love to see on a master class, like a Zoom call, like paid or unpaid, like um who is on their bucket list. Maybe we start from the top. Maybe KY, who would you love to, interact with in that sense? And I might be the crazy one and I'll go and ask.
Too many to choose from.
Just whack
Too many
only.
to choose from. Yeah, but I think I would love to be able to have a lesson or two with Eric, Mary, and Toll. I've and I think I've mentioned to you. I did a masterclass with Chet Lefkowitz Brown a couple weeks back. Yeah, and I think there's just always something to learn from all those world class saxophonists. Eric Marienthal just so happens to be one of my inspirations.
Wow.
And when I've seen his videos on YouTube of him teaching, and I think he's one of those really genuine guys who wants his students to improve. So that's why I would really like to be able to work with him.
Yeah, and maybe I can jump in right there on the call of Eric. Eric is very happy to, even after this show, he's happy to have me organize a masterclass for him, of course paid. And yeah, if you guys are interested, for sure Eric is on. I won't speak on behalf of other people, but I have a few people on my list as well that I'm gonna ask them. But so Eric for sure, I guess KY will be the first to say yes to jump on that. So yeah, you guys can let me know privately. So if Eric Maranto does of course it will be probably a smaller group, paid masterclass. Will you guys be on? And then I can gauge that. But Eric himself is definitely on. But of course he doesn't want to. Of course, I mean, I would want it to be a nicer, sizable group lah. But we'll see. So Eric is definitely on.
Just to add on, I think, like in the midst of this global pandemic, I think one thing that's really heartfelt, I think, is the arts and music community has really got together. A lot of world-class saxophonists are providing lessons, providing free live sessions, and their master classes are just for a fraction of their usual lesson fees. So like I would be the first one to say that, if there's an opportunity for any world-class saxophonist, it's very hard to come by. For a fraction of the cost, it's a no-brainer. You just have to go for it.
KY, you share how much did Chet Lefkowitz Brown say his normal private lessons are per hour?
Yeah, when the master class which I signed up for was only for like $40. His usual rate was $250. So that's like a crazy deal, and I just signed up right away. It was a masterclass on pentatonics. It was midnight Malaysian time, but I thought no way I'm giving this up. I stayed up midnight, done via Zoom, very professionally done. With he was doing it via Zoom, webinar style. He had shared PDFs on his video streams. He even had like backing tracks done over the videos. So it was quite interesting.
Yeah, and I was speaking to Eric. Eric charges about $150 an hour, private lessons. But that's why he was also saying, which I'm gonna talk to him more about his artist work course, and he has a saxophone course on Artist Works website, and it's only like if you pay per year, it's like $23 or $25 or something a month, and it has unlimited video submissions. So we had a long conversation about this. I was actually telling Eric, isn't it very scary to accept video submissions for a monthly fee when your per hour time is $150? What if 500 students are spamming you with daily videos and you have to reply? He was like, he was saying actually he says there's about 500 people subscribe. That's a lot of saxophonists, and even one from Singapore, which I'm going to text him because he told me the name, and there's not many of that name around in Singapore. So yeah, great that even Singaporeans have already started taking lessons with him, and Eric remembers him because, I mean, how many Singaporeans? Eric was saying out of 500 students, maybe only 10% take him up on the video submissions, which I thought was quite crazy, right? If I sign up for $20 plus a month, I will be spamming Eric with video submissions all day, every day. But he was saying that it's you can't spam, so you need to only send one. You only can send one video at once, and only after he replies, then you can. So it's one way all the time. As in, yeah, you can't spam 10 videos and expect him to reply all 10, but unlimited throughout the whole time that you are on the course, on top of the hundreds of courses that he has. So for 20 something bucks, you're saying like, you know, isn't it super good deal for, and I'll be sharing that with you guys. I also plan to subscribe. I was going to do it this week, but I was like, I'll be killing myself if I still go and start a lesson course, so I'm definitely going to do it. Really, even just for, even I will pay that money just to be able to have direct contact with Eric Mariento and submit my videos for him to critique and tell me what to work on. It's really a no-brainer to me. Then don't talk about the hundreds of backing tracks, PDFs, and videos that are already in the course. So Eric was saying, yeah, and sometimes, other people have told Eric, hey, make sure you don't spend all day replying to your students, because, just make it short, 1-2 minutes, I mean, they're businessmen, so they need to be practical. So, but Eric says sometimes he even goes crazy because he loves it and he spends half an hour constructing a reply to a student. And I was like, that's the type of heart he has, yeah. And then so yeah, talking about that, I think these guys have so much to offer, and of course they still can make good money if they scale, so if there are 1,000 people watching on Zoom, even at $20 a ticket, they could earn more than if they went out to travel, so for sure many of them, and I mean, even we as humans or fellow saxophonists, we also want to see them do well, like I know of artists who had a whole year of touring is instantly vanished. And yes, they have royalties. Yes, they are comfortable. But they also, set aside time and rehearsed and prepared for all these tours, and it's not happening. So, I think, yeah, it's good for us. As much as we earn, I think it's a two-way thing. We, some of us, we have day jobs or whatever. We can afford a $20, $30, $40 ticket, as much as we are learning so much more, that value. I mean, when else are you gonna get the chance to ask Eric Mariento, who is played on the Chick Corea records, who's played Spain like 1,000 times, and how he approaches that? Where else are you gonna ask them? If it's not for this period, right? Some of these guys, you pay them 2, 3, 500 US dollars, they also don't want to take you as a private student, because they just don't have the time for it. So now for 20, 30, $40 is quite crazy. So yeah, so yeah, but of course we can't force anyone, to want to do anything. But I guess QI is a great. I mean, that learning spirit is, I think more people should have it. And sometimes I also take it for granted. And always use busy as an excuse. But I think if it's a good opportunity to learn, that's why I really hope people come into the Eric Marienthal the video this Sunday, because I mean, firstly it's free, and you guys can compile the questions. So if any one of you, just let me know the questions earlier, we'll be compiling it, because during the chat I think it's going crazy, and I told Eric, like, let's just get the gear questions out of the way, man. And I already told him, like, I'm not going to keep asking the same questions that can be found on his thousands of interviews online. So the for me it has been tough to trying to think of more unique and more in-depth questions that I could ask him, rather than, oh, Eric, what do you practice every day, or what year is your Selma? It's like we only have this precious time with him, so yeah, I think Eric will be cool, and I definitely want to make it a point to bring, these master classes to you guys. I think now is the best chance, because when they're busy, they're touring, how we ever gonna get, no matter how many people we can guarantee. But now they're all at home. I'm telling you, let's say we tell them we have 100 people ready to pay $20 US. That's 2,000 US dollars for 2 hours of your time. You want or you don't want? Most of them would say yes now. So yeah, let's make a list of our wish list of people, and they are gladly doing it. We can support them to create more art. And I think we just cut back on one pasta meal, that we order Deliveroo or what, yeah, sometimes that's why, we always talked about this the whole night, right? How we value things. Are we gonna spend $100 screw or we say $20 for Eric Marienthal is too expensive, or Kirk Whalum or Dave Koz. Sometimes nothing wrong, but hopefully I will try my best to remind people. So come on, man, it's just like 2 Starbucks drinks, 3 Starbucks drinks, and you're not gonna exchange that for getting to interact directly with some of our idols. So yeah, so keyword Eric Marienthal will be one. Anyone else off your head?
I think you
There's
know
too many.
who I'm going to
There's
say.
too many, man.
Okay, so
Dave
keywords.
Koz,
Dave Koz.
David Sanborn, uh, Gerald Albright.
Mm,
So many
yeah.
people. Just way too hard to choose. Yeah.
Mm.
I only said Eric because if I had to choose one, because of my own personal feelings, I would go for him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. I'm glad, and like my first ever international guest will be him. Don't ask me why. Oh, I know why I asked him, because he commented on one of my live streams. He said he's hardly even on Facebook, and I don't know why we are friends on Facebook. Probably long time ago I tried to get him into Singapore, but I think that didn't happen or something when he was at Java Jazz. I can't remember how. So just had him on Facebook for years, and then suddenly he commented. I was playing Eric Marienthal tunes on my Smooth Jazz show, and then he commented on Facebook and says like, "Oh, great sound." I was like, jaw drop, man. It's like luckily it's after the segment that I played all his songs because I have the backing tracks. So yeah, so suddenly that name stuck in my head. So I was like, okay, let me just try my luck. And yeah, he said yes. And he told me, yeah, he's hardly on Facebook, but he suddenly, just scrolling, he saw that video and it's like, oh, it sounded nice. So he just commented, and I was like, I guess even for him, that opened a door. Sometimes we never know, right, what opportunities. For him, of course, he doesn't need anything from me, but you never know where that connection might lead to, and just now suddenly there's a gateway into, our Asian community, and great for everyone. It's a really a win-win. So yeah, KY, yeah, for sure. All those guys, man, those are definitely on my list really. Vincent, any wish list?
Kurt William would be one of them. And not sure if you heard of Dave Pollock or something. Let me get the pronunciation. Yeah,
Pollock.
Dave Pollock.
Pollock.
Dave Pollock. Yeah. I like his sound on auto, so
Okay, can
yeah.
definitely consider. But yeah, if it's, sometimes, yeah, unfortunately, if it's not, sometimes it's not even about the playing, but to promote something, it's also like, um yeah, if the name is not super popular, can get a bit hard lah in that sense. But no, good to know. I think I've definitely seen his videos before. His playing is definitely solid. But there's this whole debate on, even like organizing festivals and doing ticketed shows. The tickets are sold before the artist plays. Of course, and you guys are buying it based on your impression of the person's playing or what you've heard from before. Some of these artists, we show up for the show and we've never heard them play live, but how come we buy it? And some people buy it purely based on the name, and that's how, jazz clubs and everything, and even if he plays Mary Had a Little Lamb, you already bought the ticket, at most you won't buy it again. But yeah, it's such a challenging world, and no one is gonna say, oh, how come no one buys? He plays so well. And maybe people, yeah, actually people do say that, but you can't just say people are gonna flock in because you play really well. So I guess that's the realistic business side of it lah. Yeah, but great. So yeah, Kirk Whalum, man, I think he was supposed to play at the Hua Hin Jazz Festival. So Cole was supposed to get him this year, and I was telling Cole, hey, please get me for the festival also, man. Of course, I didn't want to tell him I would play for free lah, but for me, it's like if I had that inroad to say, okay, I'm gonna play, and then I can sneak backstage or just go to the front of the stage and watch Kurt Whalum for free. I gladly play the festival for free, but of course, I didn't tell him that lah. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, they've been, because now he's with P Morat also, so, and Jody Jazz. So I was supposed to think about bringing him in, but even Kirk Whalum can be a hard sell in Singapore. Yeah, because we talk about, of course, Zoom masterclass, no problem, because there's almost no fees. right? To the artist. Where you talk about flying them first class or business class, a lot of them ask for that. They want money even when they're not performing. So let's say it's a 10, they come to Asia for 7 days. Some of them have a system of they want like I want 1K a day USD. No matter whether you make me play a master class or you bring me for teh tarik, is my time. So and the show day is still considered 1 day. So when you even it out, okay, it's 7K for 7 days. So some of them do it that way. Then you gotta ask yourself, can I find, even though Kurt Whalum play on I Always Love You, do your parents know that? Do your grandparents know that? They don't. So that's the realistic thing. Your friend who is a harp player, do they even know Whitney? Then they need to know Whitney, then they need to know Kirk Whalum and know I Always Love You. Then how? And I actually spoke to a promoter. The promoter said he went to check his stats. No go. Just financially won't make sense. Because what I actually asked Kirk's agent how much he charges before. Won't be able to. But he said Dave Cost, yes. Based on the American stats, Dave Cost can join a huge crowd. But that's America. It's still untested in Singapore. Same thing. Do your grandparents know about Dave Cost? Will they buy a ticket? Your siblings who don't listen to music, will they go? So sometimes we think our Singapore market, wow, sure, everyone talk about Dave Cost, I sure go. Then when push comes to shove, when the ticket is $80-$100, sorry, my cat is sleepy, I need to stay home, and then suddenly, y'all tell me y'all all want, then I bring in already, then all suddenly, grandma sick and everything, so it's a tricky world, man. But all that is out of the window now because it's Zoom, right? We can even just host it on YouTube, unlisted link, private link. Only those who pay get the link. So many ways, and they're just in their home studio. So I think now, if we want it, it's gonna happen. Like, and not for a crazy fee compared to having to go for a night out. Sometimes you go like even Blue Note and all in wherever, you buy the ticket and then you're not drinking Coke the whole night, and eat the peanut, for the whole night. You're still spending another $80-$100 on your drinks, dinner or snacks. It's not cheap night out, but yeah. Definitely. Okay, ranting too much on that, but I'm super excited, and hopefully you guys are also, whoever's watching. Let's make this happen now. Once you get back onto the road, no way lah. No amount of money will tempt them also, when they're traveling all over. So yeah. Michelina, who would you love to see in person?
Yuko Perko.
Sorry?
Yuko Perko.
Okay. Where's that
He's
person?
a Finnish jazz saxophonist.
Okay. Came to Singapore before?
My favorite. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Recently there was one guy
Anyone
who came.
knows?
Not sure. Yeah, maybe you can send the link in the chat later also. We can check him out. Okay, so Finnish jazz saxophonist. Cool. Nice.
Very, very sweet sound.
Okay. Nice. How about if, let's say, classical world, who is like the holy grail, like like our the pinnacle that always inaccessible?
Inaccessible.
Like, just never will get a chance to see live.
We have all these conferences, so they feel very close.
Okay,
It's not
okay.
necessarily
Even the
inaccessible.
world class, the highest tier guys,
Yeah.
you guys have seen them or have access lah.
Yes, I have.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I missed a lot of my. I mean, thanks to Java Jazz, I guess that's the closest like smooth jazz festival in Singapore. So managed to see some of these guys, but yeah, close access is not easy. But yeah, let's say like the pinnacle of classical, who would you or the people in your circle, who would they love to see like a Zoom session with?
My teacher probably.
Okay.
Arno Bonkamp. Not sure if anyone knows.
Gosh, I was going to say the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, he sounds Dutch.
I love Arno Bonkamp.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, if you guys, even if it's a smaller group, I think, not every, even the world of saxophone is already a smaller subset. That let's say if Ariana Grande did a Zoom call, that's a given. So But so even if 5 6 people, like if someone wants to take the initiative and makes it happen, 10 people, of course, yeah, I mean, you guys can still hook up and try to get it going, even in a small group. Everyone, maybe smaller group, everyone pays a bit more, but you still can make it happen. Or maybe that person doesn't ask for much, so definitely you still can do it, even if the name. So if Vincent, you want to get David Pollock, why reach out? Maybe he says like, bro, just $50 is enough, man. And sometimes I do crazy things like that. I'll just say I'll pay you the 50 and just make it free for everyone or whatever. You never know what situation comes out. So we go for it. Like I know Christoph, he's a saxophonist here. He loves this guy called Jason Weber. I'll tell him the same thing. If you feel he's great and you want to connect us to these guys, we need people to champion. Cannot always sit back and wait for things to happen. Then there are people who will just wait for things to happen. Then even when happen already, they still don't want to get out of the seat. Then can't help you already lah. In that sense. But yeah. Anyway, Julian, we were talking about sharing who would be our wish list to see like on a Zoom call. Either through a masterclass or a paid or unpaid. Who are our dream list? So we started from KY. The Dave Koss, Eric Marienthal, Kurt Whalum, all Sanborn.
Bro,
all
you're
has
doing it
been-
already, man. You're doing it
this
already,
is
man.
just
What are you
this is
talking
just
about?
just one, first step. But yeah, and each of us also can go out and be the championing for these people that we really want to bring in. So yeah, that's what we were chatting. We are going one round. So Russell, next. I guess Dave Koss for sure. Yeah, but anyone that we haven't
I knew it when I saw that.
anyone else besides who we've mentioned already?
Ask this guy
Um,
called. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, Russell finish first. Okay, no worries.
so Indonesia has very great saxophonists. Like I think you've met Tommy and Bayu.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah.
love to.
I wish like we can have like
I mean,
masterclass with them.
you organized a show for Sex in the City, right? Was it? Was that the story?
No.
Okay.
It was not me, but like the saxophone community in my city. We organized a
Okay.
few shows last time.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, see, you have done it once already, so why not? Consider doing it again in that sense. Yeah. So definitely possible. Cool. Yeah. Indonesian. There's this guy called Dennis Junior. He's a customer of our shop. Also killer player. I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but
Yeah.
yeah, great guys in Indonesia also. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Inkwang, how about you? Dream list of people.
The names already mentioned.
Okay.
And then there's this big box sax guy. He's Derek
Ah,
Brown.
I was.
I mean, it's a very unique voice.
Yes.
Different kind of
He's
thing. Yeah.
he's
Quite nice.
already doing paid masterclasses on articulation. You can go and check it out. I was also half thinking of him, but yeah, but he's already started doing his own. So yeah, do
I-
check it out. Mm,
I think he has a
Mm.
class coming up next week or the week
yeah.
and the week after. I was one of the lucky guys to do a masterclass with him many years ago when he first came to Malaysia. Very, very nice guy.
Nice. Yeah, he is a great, unique. I mean,
What? Derek came to Malaysia? Really?
Yeah, many, many years ago, because he's a P. Moriot artist, and P. Moriot was initially distributed by Pianotech. I'm not sure if you know of this company, Mr.
Yes.
Lu from
Mr.
Pianotech.
Lu. Yes.
And they brought, Mr. Lu was my friend. They brought Derek Brown in, and they invited me. Yeah, they
No
invited me.
kidding.
I still
did
have
not
his
know
video.
that.
I still have
I
his
did not
video
know
playing. I
that.
was on the first row. Yeah.
wow.
Wow,
Jeez.
that's a part of history that I did not know. I'm a bit sad about myself now.
Oh, just jumping into the YouTube chat. Ken Leong from KL. He says hopefully Dave Koss will be joining also. Yeah, let's make it happen, man. If enough people wish it, yeah, there's always a way. Yeah, cool. So we'll yeah, Derek Brown already doing it. I know Leo P has been doing live streams. Um maybe not paid stuff, but to I don't know what he does on his live streams. I didn't really watch. It's like just him and a green screen. And it's not a green screen, it's like really a green cloth. Yeah. So but he I don't think he cares. He'll still have the following. So y'all can check that out, Leo P. But might be cool if he does a paid thing. Yeah, Julian, besides all those that we've mentioned, anyone on your dream list that you love to connect with closer?
Wow. Well, I would, man, if you have a chance to get people, and I'm talking like jazz legends here. I
Mm,
mean, one of the
mm,
first people I would think about is Antonio Hart, and I think that may be still possible. But man, if you get to speak to people like Gary Bartz and some of these
mm,
guys who are still alive, now
mm,
that would be, you know,
mm,
I mean, if Jean Marie, I mean, if you can get Jean Marie Londex on Zoom, now that would be something. You know what I mean, right,
mm,
Shalina? It's you want. I would love to talk to these kind of guys,
mm,
or even um, Harvey Patel.
mm.
I don't know if you guys checked out
Sounds
his
familiar,
his
but yeah.
videos on the Andreas Eastman YouTube page. If anything, you want to really know how to get a good saxophone sound and all that, that's the page to check out. If you can get someone like Harvey Patel on, so it'd be great. But yeah, Antonio Hart. It'd be nice to get someone like Will Vincent on board as well.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
Mm-hmm.
cool. He's
Mm-hmm.
currently in Australia now with his wife.
Oh.
Or I mean, there are a lot of players lah.
Mm.
I like I I gravitate a little bit more to the slightly older guys, to be honest.
For
But
sure.
you
For
know,
sure.
so yeah,
Have you guys
I would love to.
have you guys listened to a lot of Scott Hamilton? Anyone? Yeah, he's one of my favorite
Scott is,
yeah.
oh man,
And
Yeah, very good. Yeah, yeah.
recently Rudy Engel from Germany plays with Scott Hamilton, the double bassist. He came, we played,
yeah,
I
yeah,
got it with Tony and all. So he told me he all the stories with Scott Hamilton, and it's just like crazy. So maybe I should try to
yeah,
make that happen also. Uh yeah, Scott Hamilton just, and I think this was slightly related to an earlier point. That's why I remember Scott Hamilton is about tuning. How come jazz players like, maybe not so obsessed about the tuning. I feel like, even people like Scott Hamilton playing an OSBA, it's like, of course he plays in tune, but his horn is not gonna be super in tune. So, like would someone like, these old school guys, tenor guys, would they ever change to like modern series 3 to be able to be more in tune? I highly doubt it, because for them they want that character, and they probably played it since they're 18, so they know how to work with the quirks. So yeah, that was just all the thoughts that
yeah,
was running in my head when we were discussing that point. Like if you know the instrument well enough, you know every quirk. Like these older SBAs, like before 35,000 serial, all your low notes are sharp. Your low B or low B flat, and I used to have one, and I foolishly sold it for quite a good price, to Korea, because people were feeding me this information. Then I'm like, but how often in pop and smooth jazz I'm gonna play my low B flat? And I have people telling me like, oh, when you play in a saxophone quartet, it's gonna be a problem. I'm like, when how often am I gonna play in a saxophone quartet? But so of course these thoughts come in. But if someone that's the only horn you played, I mean, if those old guys were playing like old corns and old Bushers, and Dave Koz can keep his soprano, curved soprano in tune, so I guess, yeah, I mean, the other side of the coin is, if that was the horn you grew up with and you're stuck with, you're gonna figure out a way to get around it, so
yeah.
yeah, sorry,
I mean, I
sidetrack.
also I also kind of have my own, like, my theory, which is very similar to what Daniel is saying. Actually, is like there's this obsession, especially with jazz players. I don't know about classical players, but jazz players, they have an obsession with vintage horns and things like
Mm,
that. Now, I'm not denying that there's a certain kind of sweetness that you can get in vintage horns that you may not be able to necessarily achieve with the modern horns. But I'm also thinking like what Daniel was saying, like a lot of these guys grew up with those horns,
mm,
and that means when they bought those horns,
yeah,
they were new.
yeah,
So, and if you play that same horn or the same kind of horn for like 40, 50 years,
mm,
your horn is going to be vintage, or like it will be aged as
Mm,
well.
mm,
So the instrument kind of grows with you, and you develop its own quirks or whatever. I mean, like I this is a general question to everybody. Have you played on say the saxophone of one of your saxophone player that you like a lot? You like his or her sound, and you play their instrument. That, wow, this the instrument plays very nice, but mine doesn't play as nice. I mean, have you had that experience before? Chances are that um, I have I have this kind of feeling where, okay, saxophones may or acoustic instruments may be like, they're made of brass or whatever, but I have this kind of feeling that they're actually still they're alive, which means that when you play them new, they play like new. But if you play the same instrument over time, the instrument also changes with you, and it will develop a certain character. That's why when you play a horn that plays nice, even though it's the same kind of horn, that you kind of wonder why that's the case. I feel it has to do a lot with the player that has spent a lot of time, like seasoning this is the buzzword that we use a lot,
yeah,
seasoning the horn
yeah.
to make it play nice and make it sound good. So when you play, it's like, it just feels good to you. So I'm not saying that it applies to everybody.
Mm,
I think it does apply to some players who spend a lot of great time developing a great sound on the horn. So it's the same to me. That's kind of the same concept for mouthpieces as well. I
mm,
think that you spend a lot of time working on one mouthpiece, one setup or whatever, for a long time, and you just develop your own beautiful sound out of it.
mm,
So that's also my contention with vintage horns. That's why I don't mind playing a modern horn, because I'm playing something that will
mm,
grow with me,
mm,
and not play a vintage horn where the sound's already made. So that means my sound is forced
mm,
to mold to that horn sound.
mm,
I prefer to have a horn that I can grow with, and it will grow with me, and develop my sound from that. So it's kind of how I think about things
mm.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I think the more we play the horns, yeah, it will season up. And yeah, I guess someone has to decide, do I want to play, like you said, a worn-in horn already, that someone already did the job of seasoning up and resonating for me, or do I want to start that journey from new? And I guess the in between now, not that I'm pushing Trevor James, but horns that have the unlacquered finish, it's supposed to help you to save that time of, you know, playing it until it slowly wears off to have that resonating feeling. Of course, some people love it, some people hate it, but at least for the Trevor James, when I played it, I was like, wow, it reminds me. It doesn't feel like it's a brand new horn. It feels as though I've played it for 10 years, and also maybe there might be some saxophones out there that could bridge that gap, because I don't know, if I play brand new Yamahas now, they're just too bright and shrill, like really no character. I personally feel like I would rather get a more vintage Yamaha, like older 62, or even the old 875 custom, no EX. Somehow those have, I used to have that Soprano and I sold it. So yeah, things like that. I think that's very interesting. And actually, just jumping in quickly, I'm gonna ask Eric Marienthal this, because I was telling the rest just now, trying to think of questions is tough because I don't want to ask the same old, which he probably gets 1,000 times already. So actually, one of the questions I'm gonna ask him about gear is, because he goes to trade shows a lot, and I'm sure people send him stuff to try all the time. He's been playing the Ishimoris. He loves it. I think they send him. Even Dave Koz has a silver plated Ishimori and all. So I would ask Dave Koz the same thing. Like, how do they, like, resist the temptation to change at every new thing? Like, how do they know that their sound is their sound? Why I wanted to ask him that is because actually he mentioned in one of his videos with his new mouthpiece, after giving it a try to really prototype and get a new model made, he realized that he was actually working a lot harder on his old beach lah. So I think some of these old school guys, I respect them. For 33 years, he said he's been playing the same mouthpiece, and he's so not into gear. But
A lot of them are not. Yeah.
yeah, all of them are not. But then what made him still stick to his Selma, even though he has played the Ishimori and he's probably been given several for free, my guess. For the amount of videos he's been doing for them, I would think he's given at least one. I will ask him, and I think he has a Yamaha as well, also probably given
Was
to
a
him.
Yamaha artist at quite a while ago
Supposedly,
actually. Like,
yeah. I mean, on his website, he used to have an equipment page, and he says that he does play a 82Z auto, or he has one. So yeah, I guess I just want to ask him, like, where does he draw the line? When do you know that I'm just gonna stick to my old one? Like Dave Koz can have any Yamaha he wants in the world, in any finish, but he still chooses to stick to his 62. I think I know the answer, but it's nice to hear from them also, because Eric eventually switched, you know, mouthpiece, and even ligature, he will try different things, like when do they draw the line? Is this, am I just hearing things, or is something really better than what I was playing? So I guess Eric is good because he's willing to budge on his mouthpiece, and mouthpiece is so personal. But so
yeah,
far,
I'm very
he's
surprised.
very surprised, right?
Very
And
surprised.
from
Yeah.
what I heard, it's not the exact same design as a Beachler. So it still comes out the end goal sounding like him and sounding like him on his Beachler. But I think from the pictures I've seen, the design is not like a Beachler design. So
Yeah.
even he had to put a thick BG mouthpiece patch to make the big profile higher. Because Beachlers are slim but they're very high in the mouth. But this mouthpiece was made with a lower beak. So he actually put mouthpiece patch on top to make it feel like the Beachler. So it's not an exact, they're not trying to CNC or 3D copy his Beachler. Is if I'm not wrong, but I'll ask him more. It's gonna play slightly different like if you come from a Beachler. But
Yeah. I can't
obviously,
wait.
yeah. So but in the end, so he's willing to budge on his mouthpiece, but he's not never budged on his alto or tenor or soprano. So it'd be interesting for me to hear, how does he draw the line? I'm sure he's played horns that are great. I'm sure the Ishimori is great. But, why has he not, made the jump, but willing to make the jump on mouthpiece? So yeah lah. But I guess, yeah, those will be interesting things too. I
Yeah.
really don't know how long the thing will go, but I think once we get going, it's probably gonna last quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess
It's gonna be cool.
that's the topic of who we want. But hopefully, yeah, individual, all of us, yeah, if we have a crazy list, go and start the process first. Like, and then maybe the rest of us can all chip in to help and say, okay, I'm on board also. Let's try to, suss out interest in whoever we wish to get, you know. And now is the best time to do it lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Having said that, good job, Daniel. I mean,
No
like
problem.
this is a definitely a fun hang for everybody as well. And
Yeah,
you're bringing some of these
yeah.
guys in soon. I mean, man, and like you've been playing a lot with your live shows and stuff. There's a lot of stuff you're playing in,
It's a
and you're
lot
like
of
doing
shows.
on like requests and all that kind of things. Like, wow,
Yeah,
okay,
it's been
crazy like
fun.
you.
I've never played so much in my life, and I'm learning new songs all the time to just try to keep up with that. So it's great. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, similarly, the learning curve is not that crazy lah. I think one thing my wife and I we want the messaging that we hope people are getting is that we didn't start off knowing how to do all this. It's just go and ask. I think before you came back on, we were saying like just email. Like you don't ask is a no. For sure is a no. You ask,
Yeah.
at least there is a slim chance. Like if we can get Ravi Kotrain on to talk about his dad or whatever. I mean, most people will dismiss. He won't do it. It's like, do you know for sure? He won't do it. What if he says yes? So yeah, crazy stuff. And yeah, everyone hopefully sees creative output from a lot of people. I think the other scary part is every Tom, Dick, and Harry is online and streaming. They are gaming, they are singing, whatever. So hopefully we also find a way to cut through the mess. But yeah, I think Michelina, your camp is really good, and I was just so incredibly surprised that you guys are doing it for free, right? If I'm not wrong.
We decided to publicize it a different way. We didn't want
Okay.
to, cut
Okay.
through anyone's market.
Okay. Oh,
So now
okay.
we're waiving the fee for the first time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Are you capping it at a number of people, or like it's really as
For the
many
active
as?
participants,
Mm,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
How is the sign up like take up currently?
Quite a lot already actually. But mostly
Nice.
for observing the classes because I don't think a lot of people have their saxophones or students have their saxophones. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow, but that's gonna be a lot of work, man, for like a whole weekend of activity. So yeah, but it's great that you guys are willing to waive off the fees. And yeah, you never know. Yeah, I was talking to Eric this morning and he was saying, oh, so Eric is giving a half an hour free Zoom call lesson for everyone who buys his mouthpiece. Okay, not just for us. This is a promo he's been doing for his signature model mouthpiece, which I think is a super cool thing. So first thing I asked him was like, did it backfire or what? Like so many people buy, but he said I think so far he's had like 6 or 7 private classes from that, and almost all of them want to stay on as a full paying private student. So sometimes you never know. Yes, he gave it free because they bought, which he still earns, but half an hour investment, he gets them for, many, many, many $150 private lessons. So yeah, so hopefully, I mean, that opens doors and let people know that hey, you guys are willing to do this for us, and see what doors open when things resume, I guess. So yeah, definitely cool, man. And yeah, I think probably the people in the Saxo Telegram group are not your target audience. So I shared it there and Sam shared also. But yeah, I think these are probably more like shop customers already. So probably not. But you never know. I think there are some students and kids there as well. But yeah, hopefully through the band conductors or so on. But yeah, man. So yeah, maybe challenge to everyone is let's try to do something you know, a bit crazier this period, things that we not normally do. Either go and subscribe to a online lesson platform and just go and do it, for a month or two even, and need to cancel after that when life resumes, sure, but I think the Eric Marienthal course on artist works for me is a must lah. Even if I gather just 1-2 hours worth of knowledge, man, it's $30 a month. Even if I just want to do like the 3-month package, what's $30 US to gain, even 1 hour when his 1 hour fee is really so high. So yeah, hopefully, whoever watches after this also, yeah, let's just try to do something that we not normally do, right? If not now, then I think there's so many people like showing posts and quotes and all. If we don't, I guess if we don't come out of this stronger, then once go back to normal, then for sure we won't do so. So yeah, I think it's been a great call. Yeah, it's gonna be almost 3 hours of a hang. I think it's good. And I think this size is nice also. I think if it was even double or triple the people in the Zoom call, it can get a bit, by the time we go one round, it's also a bit hard. So yeah, things to think about also if we do future stuff. But yeah, so anyone has any last thoughts or questions or just things you wanna, talk about?
Russell, give us your best Dave Cost impression on that little
Oh
con.
yeah. Are you allowed to play this late?
I can't help it.
Yeah, but you should just let us hear a bit of that curve soprano.
Yeah, I second that.
Your housemates, they won't kill you, right?
He's gonna put the backing track on.
sounds really
Taking
nice, man.
Nice.
Nice, sweet
Thanks,
sound,
Russell.
man. Thank you so much and
You the
for
man.
being
You the
for
man.
Someone's
being
got to share this
sporting.
on Dave Cause's Facebook page, man.
when we get Dave Cos in, everyone got to play "You Make Me Smile" for him. You make me smile choir. Yeah, but
Yeah.
cool,
Hey,
man.
that's another idea already. Look at
Yeah, we
we
can
all do like a
piece together
compile
the
video.
compile the video.
Come-
Yeah,
Each
cool,
one
man.
take a phrase.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
Anyone else? Any last words, thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this has been a great hang actually. It's interesting. It's nice to
Yeah,
connect with
it's been
different
interesting.
people.
First
I mean,
time.
every
Yeah.
time when I go to Singapore for something, I only get to see Daniel or at most some of the other cats, but
Yeah,
I don't get to meet some of the other saxophone players from Singapore as well.
yeah,
So it's a pleasure like
yeah,
seeing you guys.
yeah.
If I got a chance, I'll get to meet Leslie or something. But
Mm,
you know that's also quite rare
yeah,
actually. So yeah,
yeah.
cool.
Cool, man. Yeah,
Thanks for
for
sharing.
sure. I think we'll definitely do this more, and I think these things won't end even when life resumes. It's built up a habit for people, and hopefully we still find ways to connect like this. And
Yeah,
so much to learn, so much to share, and it's just it's great lah. And then we keep doing it, and then hopefully our whole Asian circle. So I was telling Julian, I'm thinking of doing one that invites, like, let's say Cole and Tran and people, representatives from each country, and then we can do
yeah,
something together. I think that will be fun as well. So many ideas, just need to get going and doing it. So yeah, I think that will be fun. So
yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for joining and being active participants here. Then I'll see you guys at this weekend shows. Um,
Right.
and then let's see what happens next. If I have any more exciting news, I will definitely share. And let's keep in contact. All right, okay.
Cool.
Good night, everybody, and
Yeah,
Thank
good
you so
night.
much,
Bye,
enjoy.
Daniel.
No
everyone. Thanks,
problem. See you
Daniel.
guys. Nice to
Bye.
see
Same
you
here.
guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
good night, guys.
bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.